From downtown, this is Tim Kitzer from NBA Jam, and you're listening to NintenDomain Podcast. Boom shakalaka!
This week on NintenDomain, Tokyo Game Show has already begun, and we're seeing Nintendo news, plus the beginning of one of the longest, greatest RPG series of all time. It's available now on Nintendo Switch.
Gaming keeps friends together.
Welcome to NintenDomain Podcast, episode 490. What? We got 10 episodes away from 500. Better start thinking about that. About whatever we're going to do for episode 500. Those big ones are always rough. But yeah, we are your hosts here for NintenDomain. I'm Trey White Monkey Sheepfist Johnson.
I'm John Game Chasers Forever Knitter.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you want to go into that now or later. Or...
Let's go into it later.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. I kind of was like, what? I saw that. But we'll talk about it later when we get into the news. But we are Jeremy-less for this episode because he is partying it up in Japan, playing UFO 50 right now at 2:25 in the morning.
Yeah, where in the world is Jeremy Mikowski right now? He's
in Tokyo,
right?
Well, I mean, I don't know if he's in. I mean, I don't know if they're in. I mean, because they were going to go to like other places, so they may not necessarily be in Tokyo. But I mean, they're not here in America, so I know that much. So it's just us two pulling up the episode here. But I think we probably got enough to talk about for sure.
Got something to keep in solidarity with our brother in Japan right now. I was at Costco and I saw these and said, well, I'm going to make that a thing. I'm going to have a Japanese snack on the podcast. I'll try and do it for every episode that he's gone.
Well, no chewing on the mic.
No chewing on the mic. But I'm going to open it. We're going to do a Pocky unbagging there. And one good crunch.
There you go.
There we go.
There's a Pocky.
Like I'm there in Japan. It's great.
Yeah. I haven't done any Japanese related stuff, but I did think about playing Yakuza, which could segue to the big TGS news that happened already. Is more Yakuza news. Well, actually, there's been a lot of things. They've shown new trailers for Octopath Traveler 0. The Adventures of Elliot had new trailers also. I saw that. But the big thing, I don't know if you saw it, was kind of a leak. Like, I guess Sega or Like a Dragon Studios, whatever, they accidentally put up the name of Yakuza Kiwami 3. Like
I didn't see that. It was an accident.
On a message board or something like that. Yeah, it was accidentally leaked. And people were like, oh, okay, Kiwami 3 is going to happen, and lo and behold, it did. They had a stream that happened at like 5 in the morning today or something like that for the Tokyo Game Show, and Yakuza Kiwami 3, which would be a remake of Yakuza 3, right, is coming to Switch 2 and other systems. Switch 2 is in there. It's nice to see Switch 2 in the headlines now.
Fill me in for a second. There is no Kiwami 3 right now, is that right?
There is no Kiwami 3, no.
Okay, this is a new game.
There's only 2. So Yakuza 1 and 2 are PlayStation 2 games. Yep. And Yakuza 3 was a big deal because Yakuza 3 was the first, like, HD game. It was like the PlayStation 3 game, which, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like they all kind of look the same after that. I mean, there was a big update with Yakuza 6 because they made everything, like, seamless, like, completely seamless. Like, there was no loading and everything looked different. Like, they made the Kamurocho stuff, look more realistic, and that was like the official PS4 game. But most of these games were PS3 games. So 3, 4, 5, 0, and 1 were all PlayStation 3 games. And then Yakuza Kiwami 2 was a PlayStation 4 game. And then everything from there has been like PS4, PS5, or whatever. But 3 I mean, so like I said, 3 was a big one for me because I pretty much bought my PlayStation 3 to play 3. That was like the main reason. Well, I saw a review of 3 on IGN, and I was like, oh, these Yakuza games look really cool. Like, this looks like something that I like. You get to run around Tokyo and beat people up and go sing in karaoke and whatever, and go on dates and do all this other weird shit, play darts, whatever. I was like, this seems like the type of game that I would like. And I couldn't afford a PS3 at the time, so I went driving around, and I found Yakuza 1 and 2 for PlayStation 2 at used at a GameStop for not like $10 each maybe, and I played through both of those. And then when I got through those, I went out and bought a PlayStation 3 for Yakuza 3. So 3 was a big deal because the graphics look so much better than the PlayStation 2 versions.
Sure.
But I never really felt like it necessarily needed a remake, because Kiwami 1 and 2 makes sense because, these are PlayStation 2 games that look rough. You didn't have, Kamurocho was, top down when you'd move around the city and all that. You didn't get, the fully 3D exploration and all that. And that was a big deal, towards the end of 2. It was like, oh, I really want to see this in better graphics. And that was what 3 was. But, I guess they're doing a remake of that now. But there's an additional story, too, on top of it. That's called, what's it called? Dark Lies or Dark something. Dark Ties is what it's called. It's it just came up at 1 a.m. last night or something. I did watch the trailer for it. Yeah, Dark Ties. So Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties, and I watched the trailer. It's there's a 6-minute trailer that basically shows the events of Yakuza 3, and then exactly halfway through the trailer it goes to Dark Ties, and I don't exactly recognize the guy who's in Dark Ties, but it's not Kiryu. But I guess it's somebody who Kiryu affected through the story of 3, and this is a side story, or it's a sequel to 3 almost. It's a completely different thing, aside from 3. So you're getting 2 games in one. You're getting the remake of 3, and you're also getting this other game that's brand new, from my understanding. And they're already on the eShop. You can already, pre-order it or whatever. And it's slated for February, for a February release. So February is already getting packed with games right off the top.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened in the first 2 months of the year. Resident Evil and
Resident Evil and Yakuza, and I think isn't the tennis game in February too, the Mario Tennis Fever.
Tennis. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we got some stuff right off the top there. There's another one too that's already on the eShop. I don't remember what it is for February, but yeah, there's a good amount of stuff. Oh, I think it's Dragon Quest 7 is in February also. The Dragon Quest 7 remake, so it's already piling up. I was hoping I'd be able to recover from October by then, but who knows? But yeah, that's a lot of stuff. And also they officially put Yakuza 1 and 2 on the eShop as well. So 2 is a Switch 2 only game, and the upgrade for 1 is going to be $10. So you can, standard. At least Sega has learned, because their first slew of games didn't have upgrade paths, which didn't make any sense. They re-released Sonic and Shadow Generations with no Switch 2 upgrade path, which kind of pissed me off, because I would have totally paid $10 to get a better version of it. But they're like, no, you got to pay $50 for a new one. I was like, no, fuck you. They did the same thing with the Puyo Puyo Tetris game. They re-released a new version where, from what I heard, the online community was even different. It even had, you couldn't even play Switch 1 people or whatever, which seems so wrong. So there was nobody on, because everybody was playing the original one and not the Switch 2 one. I don't know. Sega's made some mistakes, but they seem to be learning from it.
I mean, for the people who were the first to be online with consoles, that seems like a big step back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess maybe they weren't sure how they were going to do Switch 2. Everything should have an upgrade path. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking. They thought they could sell more Sonic and Shadow Generations game key cards or whatever. But it was nice to see more news on that, because I hadn't seen it on there in a while. And Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 will be out on November 15th, and you can buy both of them together for $50, I think. Because Kiwami 2 will be $30, and Kiwami 1 is $20 as of right now. But I guess it's getting it's $30 if you want the Switch 2 version or whatever. Which I don't know how much different it looks. I'm sure it's got 60 FPS or something like that. But yeah, that was the major news. from Tokyo Game Show. I thought I'd do it at the top here before I forget about it, because sometimes I say stuff at the top of the show and then don't even mention it when we get to it later. Anyway, let's start off the show as we normally do and talk about games we got and games that we've been playing. Speaking of Sega, that they put out a new Sonic Racing Crossworlds demo. Did you?
Yeah, I played it.
Were you able to check it out at all?
Yeah, I did a whole whatever you call it, round of races.
Did the whole cup? Yeah. You get I played through it too. You get the first cup, but you can do different levels. I did it on the 2 hardest ones, like I went through. And I think I lost on the final race of the hardest one, which kind of sucks. But with those, like, whatever they're called, Pon Popo things or whatever you can unlock, you can use those to retry the race, so you don't have to go through the whole thing,
I didn't do any of that.
again, which is really nice. You didn't play Grand Prix?
I did the Grand Prix, but I just blasted through all the nonsense on the menus and stuff. I felt like it was some games, like, often will have like too much menu stuff, and I don't know, I don't want to be bogged down with that. That's one thing I do like about Mario Kart. I think it does a pretty good job of just like getting you into the races.
It is more streamlined, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's more streamlined.
Yeah, I don't remember this throwing a whole lot of stuff at you from the beginning. Well, I guess it does have this whole like where you can like build your car and you can like unlock slots to like give different upgrades and all that sort of thing. And
yeah, and all that's cool if like you want to get into it. But for me, for a demo, I just want to get a sense of the game.
Yeah,
like just throw me and let me play, and maybe that's one aspect of the game that I would enjoy in the larger game. But for the demo, I just want to jump in and try it.
Yeah. So you did finally make it to racing, then?
I did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. I thought it controlled really well. I thought it's definitely comparable in quality to Mario Kart World, and I can see like it has some interesting ideas that definitely set it apart for sure. I like the rival system, which is something that I experienced recently in Wreckfest, a game that I was playing a couple weeks ago. They have a similar thing. I thought they just added a whole other dimension, where I'm supposed to go over that after that guy. That adds something cool to it.
They have some cool stuff where they taunt you too. Like in the Sega one, they'll actually talk directly at you and you'll talk back to them, which is really cool. Because, I mean, there's been, like F-Zero always had rivals. It'll say, like, this is your rival because this is the one that's closest to you in the score or whatever. But it wasn't like interaction and all that. Like, I think that's really cool.
I mean, that adds character into the whole character kart racing genre. That's very, very cool. That's something that Mario Kart should borrow back.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever really done. I mean, they might have shown. Maybe they'll show you the rival like on the list, but it's never like they're straight up taunting you or whatever, which is cool.
Right, or even just
because the Sonic character's got so much attitude, they can bring you the attitude while they're, taunting you or whatever.
Yeah, I like the whole taunting thing, and even if Nintendo doesn't want to go that route, just like have the characters like talk to each other, say things rather than Yahoo and all that.
Yeah, there's an idea.
Of your friends.
There's an idea.
You're not talking to any of them.
Yeah, they're just
cool.
just doing their thing. They're just yelling at the air. No, there's kind of a little controversy on the internet or whatever. Maybe not controversy, but IGN actually gave Sonic Crossworlds a higher score than Mario Kart World. So there's been some fun discourse on the internet about that.
I think they gave it a 9, right?
Yeah. They gave it it's 2 different reviewers, obviously. Every review is whatever person that does its opinion. But I think Logan Plant did Mario Kart World and Jada did Sonic Crossworlds, which hopefully they'll do a podcast where they can fight it out about it in the future.
What did they give Mario Kart? Was it an 8?
It was an 8. Yeah, Mario Kart got an 8 and Crossworlds got a 9. I think the big reason is that Crossworlds has so much more depth in it than Mario Kart World does. Like it just has. There's more to do. Like Mario Kart World was fun, but we were done with it like in a weekend. It was done pretty quickly. Whereas Sonic Crossworlds has like all of the customization and all the different carts you can unlock and the various characters and levels and all that stuff, which I would say gives you more to do than race around a giant world and look for missions to get stickers that no one can see on your cart.
I think so far I'd give the edge still to Mario Kart World as far as my preference, just because I think the feel of it is a little bit more tuned, whereas so far in Sonic it feels a little bit more, I don't know, loose or something like that. Like, not that it controls bad or anything, but it feels a little bit more, to me, veering toward like something that might be on a mobile phone or something.
It's not a mobile game.
It's definitely not a
It
mobile.
it does not feel like a mobile game. Come on, man. You got to give it more than that. Just because you don't jump in this to turn.
It's not like, okay, it's not a mobile game, but on the spectrum,
no,
it's a notch more toward that.
I don't think so.
It's way over here on the end of console game, but it's one notch more toward feeling more like that. Like I don't know how best to explain it. Like I just felt like I had more control in Mario Kart than I do in.
Well, that's because you've played Mario Kart more. Yeah. This you've never played a Sonic racing game, or if you did, it was for like a couple minutes when I showed it to you.
Yeah,
I mean they control completely different, and not to mention there's 3 different vehicles in this game. There's boats, planes, and cars, which all control differently. So, which Mario Kart doesn't have that as well.
When you're flying, I'll flip that. I'll say that you have more control when you're flying than you do in Mario Kart.
Because I would agree that the controls are not as great for the boat. Like I don't really like the boat controls. But the only difference every car is going to control differently. Also, I don't know how many cars you tried, but they all have they all have different handling. So I mean, because when I found the ones, because they have the boards in there too, like the air boards from Sonic Riders from the GameCube game, which I thought those controlled really interestingly. But they might have only been on the on the network test, because I didn't see them on the regular demo. Either that or you had to unlock them, because that kind of sucks too. Because I put a good amount of time into the network test, because they had like the big they had like a big event over the weekend for that, and you got like Joker for free to play as, which I guess he's still coming to the regular game for free also, but you don't, whatever you got from the network test didn't carry into the demo, and I guess whatever you do in the demo probably doesn't carry into the full game, so that kind of sucks. But I don't know, it's a racing game. You can get anything you need pretty quickly, I'm sure. But yeah, the only thing I found a little different is that you can't jump. Where Mario Kart you jump to grind, this one you just press a button to grind. But I thought this one felt fast, and I guess maybe a little bit more frantic because of the flipping, because you can constantly flip, and that's a big part of getting boosts and whatnot to go faster.
Here's what I think is maybe a better comparison. Call it a mobile game. It feels more like Mario Kart Arcade GP in the way that it controls.
Well, sure, yeah. That's a much nicer thing to say than say that it feels like a fucking mobile game. You know, I mean,
so it feels more like in an arcade game. A lot of arcade games are a little bit more lax because they want to enjoy your 2 minutes or whatever, your quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has some more arcadey feel, but
it has a more arcadey feel. Is a better way to put it. Yeah,
but that's a positive for me. I prefer arcade racers to like simulation racers or whatever. Like those are I like racing games a lot, but I like the arcadey ones. The arcadey ones that have more depth. I don't want to play fucking Gran Turismo or whatever. Like I have no interest in those games. I don't want to play real cars. I think they're slow as hell and boring. I want to boost and flip and fire off giant punching gloves or whatever. I want the weird shit, which this game has in spades. So
I'm also maybe comparing it a bit unfairly to recently I played, as I said before, Wreckfest, which turned out to be, I think that's still my favorite racing game ever, just because it has a great balance between being like an arcade game and a little bit more depth and simulation, which I do kind of like a little bit. Like in that game, I feel the rubber on the road. I feel the tires. I feel the weight of the car shifting and all that. That's really, really cool. Sonic doesn't have that, but that's perhaps by design. It feels a little bit more like a Sega arcade racing game, which fairly enough, pretty much that's what it is. It's a Sega arcade racing game
for sure. I mean, what did you think of like the transitioning between levels and all that? Like I thought that was cool. Really, really smooth. It's cool. And
yeah, I didn't actually get to actually do it. I never was in a position to make the choice.
I've played it a lot too, and I'm rarely like in first place at the time where you get to change the thing. So I think I did it maybe once, and I played it for like a good 5 hours or so, and I maybe had it one time. But yeah.
For those who don't know, there's the opportunity to about halfway through. You can change which course. That's the whole Crossworlds thing, and the way you do that is you have to be in the first position when you cross a certain line, and then the first position person can go left or right, and they choose where everyone else is going. So I've never been in that position at that moment, but I only did one Grand Prix.
I'm really interested to see what what else they do. Like my favorite thing about like Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, like 1 and 2, was just like all the other Sega shit that was in there. Like I love seeing Sonic and all them, but those ones had like Super Monkey Ball and like like Shenmue and like all this other stuff. And I like that. Like I want to see how far they go in that way. Like Sonic and my favorite one that was on Wii U, which I think is probably the best one, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing's Transformed. That one you could play as the fucking Dreamcast controller. Like I want that weird shit. Like do that. Like you can unlock the Dreamcast controller as a racer that's inside of a car. Yeah. Like that's awesome. Like do that's that great. Weird stuff. Like do more of that. So I'm really hoping for that.
Ryo from Shenmue driving a forklift.
Yeah, there's a forklift. There's a forklift in there too. Yeah, that's his card, and there's like a banana car like for the Monkey Ball characters and all that. Like I really liked the weird shit, and like as Jeremy would say if he was here, Danica Patrick was also in that one, the Indy 500 racer, which I thought was awesome because I don't know,
just throwing a random real person there with.
Hey, why not? I mean, this new one has like fucking SpongeBob and the Turtles in there too. So I mean. Whatever. It's going to have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there at some point. I think you have to pay for them, though. But as far as free DLC, you'll get Joker from Persona and Ichiban from Yakuza Like a Dragon's coming there at some point, too. So
yeah, I can see myself getting this game.
I like to see all of the Sega stuff in there, because even what was available in the demo, there's like afterburner levels. I don't know if you noticed that, like when you're flying through the air, like over the... Yeah. Over like the aircraft carriers and all that. That's from Afterburner. And there was stuff with dragons that kind of looked like it might have been out of like Space Harrier or something like that. Like there's cool like callbacks to the.
I was gonna say that too. When you're flying, it feels like I said, it feels like superior to Mario Kart when you're flying. It feels like you have more control. But I think it also feels a bit like Afterburner, like a Sega arcade flying game. So it's cool. I'm intrigued by this game. I really want to see. Actually, it's unfortunate that they didn't put out a Switch 2 demo.
Yeah, that's the big negative I have about it, because I bought the game, like I preloaded it. It's coming out tonight for Switch 1, but I'm really bummed that there's no. I mean, they said that there's a Switch 2 version coming and that there'll be an upgrade path, but we've seen nothing of it. Like there's been no footage or anything. So that's kind of annoying. Like I almost was like, well, I kind of want to wait for the Switch 2 version, but also who knows when that'll be, and I want to play the game. So I'm just getting it straight out.
I noticed so far some of the background characters are definitely like they're animating in the background. It's like 5 or 6 frames.
The famous 10 FPS stop motion looking. I've seen that in a lot of games. Even
maybe a little bit of my ill feelings toward it, and I don't have a whole lot of ill feelings, was because of it's a Switch 1 version, and I just really want to see that Switch 2 for this game. It looks like a game that is going to look great with the superior power.
It is really a shame that we're not having the Switch 2 version right up front, because it very much feels like a Switch 1 game when you're playing it. So that's kind of like that is kind of a downside. Like just like where the the textures and the resolution or whatever, it just doesn't look like it should. It should look a lot better.
You want this to be silky smooth.
I want it to look like the PS5 version, I mean, I know it probably can't quite get there, but it can get close for the Switch 2 version, I just want my my next generation version, We all bought Switch 2, so let's get some games on there. I'm just hoping it'll happen sooner than later, It's a shame that it hasn't, that it's not available yet at launch. But I'm still excited to play it because, like I said, I had a lot of fun with these games in the past, and I think I think it feels different than Mario Kart, but I already played Mario Kart, and that one's I'm all done with that game. I want to play a different game that has stuff that I haven't seen yet. So, and these games are always fun, and I'm interested to see. Hopefully, we got some Yakuza levels in there. That'd be cool. Let me race through Kamurocho or something.
Yeah, I'll keep my eye on this one. I'm not saying for sure whether I'll get it or not, but I can see myself getting it for sure.
It'll probably be cheap in the future. I'm sure it'll drop at some point. But
especially if they keep supporting it like they say they're going to. I think they already promised to support it for a year at least.
Yeah, there is like planned, and also like as far as like they do like Splatfests and stuff like that. Like they have like themed events. That's what they did for the network test, as I said earlier. So that already shows that, like compared to. Because I was thinking about the coming off of like the Dragon Drive demo versus that to this one. I was like, wow, this has so much more stuff I mean, you could say there was more stuff to do in the demo of the Sonic Racing Crossworlds than most like full games have. You know, like because you can even do like customization and buy new parts and all that stuff for your car within the demo. You know, with what you have available, and they still give you a good amount of characters in there. So I think it's cool. I'll have more. You know, I'll have better impressions of it next week because I'll have the full version. I've played that first cup like a million times. I feel like because that was the only thing that was on there for the network test as well. And and you never really get to fully fly in Mario Kart. You just float. You know, and these are you're actually like you're doing the
controlling
plane,
it.
So.
You're not so much on a guided path. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that when you're just falling down. You're not like, and from what I heard, there's a lot of crazy shortcuts and stuff like that you can find within the airplane levels and whatnot, or the airplane segments. I guess pretty much, yeah. The way it works, like you'll race like a regular race, you know, and then you'll choose the Crossworld, and then you go to a different race, and then you come back to the race that you were at before, but then the path is changed for the third lap. It's kind of how it works. And then when you get to the very final level, it gives you like a different lap of every like main race that you've done in that cup. Like you'll do like 3 different laps of whatever the main race was, not the one that you transformed to or whatever. But no, I think it looks cool, and yeah, I like those Sonic guys. I'm a Sonic fan, as I'm sure people have learned from me on here. Yeah, hopefully we get a Switch 2 demo for sure, because I'd really like to see how it looks on the new hardware that we all spent like $500 on. So, do you want to talk about the big? I guess we could talk about it here. There was a big GameStop Amiibo sale. What I was going to say is, it turns out that GameStop is also angry about Nintendo's high Amiibo sales because it seems like they're having like an everything must go sale over there. You know.
I'm wondering why this is. So, for those who don't know, it's currently going on. I don't know if they announced an end date for it, but there's a bunch of Amiibo on sale, including a bunch for like $6. Like I think I found really 30 or so for $6.
It seems like a lot of the older ones, but even some of them aren't that old, right? Like
some of them aren't that old. Yeah. Let me pull up the list that I made here. Give me a second to do that. But I got a couple for myself.
Did you order them and did you go get them? Did you actually drive to the place?
I ordered them. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's funny because we've been talking the last couple weeks. It's spurred on by the Kirby being $50 and all that kind of stuff. I think for the last 2 weeks we had some good time devoted to the price of Amiibo.
It seems like everybody is now. Well, Amiibo and like the $70 Galaxy 1 and 2. It's Nintendo be charging. They be charging some high prices here for shit.
Yep. Well, I mean, I think specifically last week I said that Nintendo should be charged. They should do tiers, and that some of them should be like $6.
Yeah,
I think I said $6 exactly, and then here we go.
Yeah.
So as soon as that came out, I was like, well, I gotta buy some, or I'm a hypocrite. So
yeah, you got to get something because you want the deep discount one. I mean, Amiibo, they're very much like, they don't even really do anything anymore. It's all about. For me, it's just like, oh, this looks cool. Let's buy it and put it on a shelf somewhere. That's kind of what it is for it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's. I mean, I'm not like happy about paying $30 or $40 or whatever for the Amiibo, but that's also not directly their fault, as we said. No. We also have this whole tariff bullshit, and Nintendo's response to that was let's raise the price of all of our physical goods. So that was a big part of that as well. But regardless, I just thought it was kind of funny because I've seen, I'd been to GameStops and I just saw like so many of the new like $30, $40 Amiibos just not moving, and I figured they were just like, fuck it, let's just deep discount this shit and get it out of here. It's kind of what I got from it. I don't know, like
it could be that, and it could
maybe they have too many of them. I don't know.
It could be part of Nintendo repositioning, as we said last week, Amiibo to be more of a elite kind of thing.
Sure. You
have the statues and stuff, like the nice first for figure statues that are $250. Maybe Nintendo wants Amiibo to be a cheap alternative, relatively cheap, where you can get a Kirby thing for $50 and then some for $25 or whatever.
Yeah,
and maybe that's what's going on here.
But regardless, seeing them for so cheap is great.
It's fantastic. Hey, we'll reap the rewards for that, the benefits of that. I made a list of some that I found that were $6. It's not a complete list, but just ones that I was interested in, and yep, they were $6. Most notably, the Zelda Guardian.
The Guardian for $6 is insane.
That's insane.
Like
the
that
big
is
one.
like
Yep.
that's so wild to me that's because that one, even in the old days of old Amiibo pricing, that was like a $30 Amiibo.
That was the first
because it's fucking huge. It's like 5 Amiibos.
Amiibo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one. I bought it for Jeremy. It's still here over here. Jeremy, come get it someday, please. It's taking up too much space. Actually, it's not that big, but compared to Amiibo, it's like 6 Amiibos in one.
Some of these are already sold out, and unfortunately, this is one of them. I didn't get that one. Ganondorf, sexy Ganondorf. That really surprised me. That was not on the list that was put out by, I think it was Nintendo Everything. They missed that one, and I ended up not getting that because again that one sold out as well. $6 for sexy Ganondorf. That was another one that was on the pricier end when it first came out because it was a little bit bigger. I'd like you to guess which ones did I get. I got 3 of them.
Oh yeah.
Can you guess which ones that I got?
I think you probably got some of the Super Mario series ones. Did you get a Goomba?
I did not get a Goomba.
Oh, because whenever you talk about your price thing is like, oh, I want to get a Goomba for $5, so I figured you'd go for the Goomba.
No, I didn't get a Goomba.
Let's see.
I didn't think about it.
I don't know. Probably maybe one of the Wedding Mario Odyssey ones.
Not that one. Nope.
I'm pretty sure you definitely got the Monster Hunter Stories 2 characters because you're so into those games.
Oh, I'm huge into Monster Hunter. Yeah, I got 6 of those, yeah.
Yeah, you got Rob the Robot. Did you find him?
I did get Rob. That's one of them.
Okay,
yep.
There you go.
That's one that I would always look out for. Whenever I saw it at GameStop, I was like, I could spend 15 or 20 on that, and I never ended up doing it. But
I'll say I have Rob somewhere. Oh, look who it is. There's a friend, Rob, right there. It happens to be right here on the printer.
Soon to be mine. Soon to be at my house.
There were actually there were 2 different versions. Because there was a Player 2 one that had different colors. I think this is the regular one, but I think
the Famicom one. Yep.
No, maybe it was.
I got the regular one.
There was one that I waited in line at GameStop for. I think it was the. Actually, I think it might have been the Game & Watch one or the Duck Hunt one or something. But there's one I actually went and waited in, like out, before they opened. Well, I also worked at a bar that was open till 5 in the morning, and I was like, "Hey, I'm up at 6. Let's go wait at GameStop." So that's what I did, and I ended up. It was one of those old ones. It was either Game & Watch or Duck Hunt.
You got 2 more guesses.
All right, so you got Rob. It'd be funny if you got Waluigi, but I don't think you did, because you don't like Waluigi.
I'll give you a hint. You just said them.
Oh, Duck Hunt and Game & Watch?
Yep.
Oh, they're on there, yeah. I didn't even see them.
Yep.
Yeah, so you like the classics.
The classic ones. Yeah, I wanted to get those.
I mean, it is pretty amazing that, like the fucking Duck Hunt dog became a playable character in Smash Brothers. Like, that's a win right there, I think, for like a really out of left field, like no one ever thought that was going to happen sort of addition to the game. So,
and I gotta say, those 3 Amiibo were the ones that I was always just kind of like really tempted to get, and they were all on the list. So,
there you go.
For me.
Yep. So you got them ordered to your house, right? So you, so the $8 shipping and handling or whatever won't fuck
6.
you over as much.
Yep.
It was maybe it's higher here in Chicago, but because I looked online too, because I pretty much have all of these Amiibo already that are on the list here. I don't have Sexy Ganon, but I don't need him. But the main one I wanted was the Donkey Kong Bonanza Amiibo, because even some of the newer ones are half off also, like the Street Fighter 6 Donkey Kong, like the whatever Age of Imprisonment Amiibo, or like on sale, they're half off. And I was looking,
16,
from 30, but like I was looking. Well, the Donkey Kong Bonanza Amiibo was sold out, so I was like, oh shit, because that's the one I wanted more than anything, because it looks really cool, and I like that game. And I was like, well, let's see what else is on there. So I saw some of the Hyrule Warriors ones, and I was like, oh well, there's that one that I like that's pretty cool, and I put it in my cart. And it added like the $8 shipping and handling, and it's like you can buy it for $26, and I'm like, hey, that's not a deal. That's like $4 less than it is new if I went to go get it. So I was like, oh well, I don't want to do that. So I went over to Amazon, because I know some of these are on sale over there too, and I bought Unobo for $15 fucking no shipping from Amazon, and it came in like hours. Actually, it came the next day in the morning, but yeah, next day, no shipping, $15 for Mr. Unobo here, because I like these Gorons. I think they're cool. So I did end up getting a new one, and I was able to get it for the show already.
Sweet.
So we'll do our normal opening of Amiibo here. When you get your new Amiibo, John, are you going to open them, or are you going to keep them in the box?
Oh, I'm going to open them.
Okay. You already got spots laid out for where they'll be?
Not yet, but all my stuff, as you saw when I was over here, is kind of packed up currently. But it will egg me on to actually hook up all my systems.
I mean, you had some... I know you showed like pictures on Slack of like you have shelves with some toys on them and stuff like that.
I do. I've got a couple.
You can add them to. He's got a bean mouth, as they say. Look at the bean.
Beautiful.
Look at the bean mouth there.
Beautiful bean mouth.
Yeah, these guys have really come a long way since the P stand link. You know, like they look.
I was noticing that.
They look so much better now. Like their molds are so much cooler, and they just look.
Yes.
They're just so detailed, and
it looks less like a toy.
Looking at the little things that are stuck on here and all that, it's just even like you can see his like teeth even in his mouth there. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Like the details that are in these.
Yeah, you can see fewer of the seams. Like I was thinking of specifically, I think it was the Toon Link one when I was on the website and looking carefully at each of them.
Oh, like, yeah, the Toon Link one.
This looks kind of like a toy.
Oh, yeah, the Toon Link one was, probably ages. Yeah, that's one of the earlier ones, so it probably doesn't look as good, I would say. I mean, this one, like the Rob is not really that detailed, but
it still looks like a Rob just shrunk down.
Yeah. But this is so much more emotion in this one.
Yeah.
And I do kind of love that it has the hand thing that that you see on like so many Japanese games. They do this like open hand thing. We've talked about it before.
I'm putting you under a spell or something, that kind of position.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, I don't know, you're like it was like because Jeremy and I, we had a joke about, because there's like they did the Castlevania game in Trauma Center, came around the same time, and they have like the exact same cover with the guy going like this on the front with his hand. Yeah. And I was just, there's a game I've been playing a lot that does a lot of that too, where they're talking and they'll just do that. It's supposed to be, I don't know, like, I'm coming for you, or, it's always the open hand. They did it a lot in what was it? In the Valkyria Chronicles games. They do that too. Like when they'd send out the army, they'd be like, but yeah, it's doing it too.
So yeah, keep checking that GameStop website, because I don't know when it stops, but here it's a pretty good deal. Probably the best deal on Amiibo that there's ever been.
If I end up being out, if I end up being out in the world, or if I end up having to go out and do deliveries or whatever, there's a few GameStops in my area that I'll check, because there was this one that I went to, and it was just a whole wall of like new Amiibo that just were not moving. Cool. Like I just saw like so many fucking of the Donkey Kong ones and all the other ones.
Yeah.
But that was some months ago.
If you spot a Guardian or a sexy Ganondorf, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that I've only seen a few Guardians, and I got that one because I saw it at Target, right before the Amiibo raise or whatever, so it was kind of a rare thing. But yeah, if I happen to see, I don't think I've seen that Ganon anywhere, like the one. And if Jeremy, if you happen to hear this while you're still in Japan, Amiibo are very cheap in Japan, so get some while you're there. I got a few. I got a couple while I was there for next to nothing, because they're not jerks there. They don't like buy them and try to sell them for like three times the profit, the price like they do in America. They're not like trying to buy it and flip it or whatever. But actually, speaking of physical stuff, I did get this. I know you showed it before, but I got this. This is a present from John. When
I was in Chicago last week, I made sure to bring those envelopes so you'd get them quicker.
Oh, did you send it while you were here?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even know that, but it's because it still had your name on it. But I didn't open it yet, so I thought I could do it on the show. But yeah, it's got a...
So this is the gift that I got for Trey and for Jeremy when I was in quote-unquote Twin Peaks in Washington. I went to the city where they filmed Twin Peaks.
And this is the Twin Peaks
from the diner.
Wrapping paper here, like based on the floor from the red, from the Black Lodge.
Yeah, black and white zigzags.
Yeah, from the Black Lodge. And there's the Log Lady postcard.
Mm-hmm.
and there's a magnet in here too. There's the Double R Cafe magnet.
In magnet form.
Yeah. Cool.
There you go.
Yeah, I just got it a few days ago, but I was like, I could just wait. I'll just wait. I can open it on the show. So there's that.
I was sure to put a on the return address, put some Twin Peaks on there. So it was sent to you from Twin Peaks.
I saw the little mountain, little two mountains there. So I figured that was what it was. I was like, oh yeah, cool. I will put it on the fridge after this recording.
Nice.
And the postcard. We'll see. We'll put that up because Jess actually bought some Twin Peaks toys that we have in the kitchen.
Oh, cool.
So maybe I'll put them over by there. It's like
what kind of toys are they?
They're like action figures. They're like a little Twin Peak toy set that has like I think Bob is in there and Agent Cooper and Log Lady and I forget who else. Maybe Laura in a bag. I'll have to take a picture and send it to you on the Slack. It's like a little box that has like 4 or 5 Twin Peak action figures that are about the size of like G.I. Joes. They're cool. Nice. I think we probably picked them up at Toy de Jour or something. But yeah, or ordered them. I don't remember where they came from exactly, but they're very cool. Aside from your Amiibo, have you been doing anything else?
Nothing else new. Back to Hitman now that it's working again on Switch 2. It's great to play it on Switch 2. Smooth as I've ever played it. It looks great. Yep. No complaints. It's same game as ever, as addictive as ever.
Yeah, I saw you put like 10 more hours into it or something like that.
I did. I do wish that they would update it so it would show my actual hours on there. Yeah, I feel a little bit cheated.
Well, that's the price of getting the updated version. At least you got your stuff carried over, you know. At least you didn't have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
It's like, my Fortnite doesn't show any of my hours because I had to get the special Switch 2 Fortnite version or whatever.
Yeah, they did announce that they're doing a 25th anniversary Hitman physical re-release for the World of Assassination, but it's only on PlayStation for some dumb reason. I don't know why.
25th anniversary?
For the series.
Oh, I was going to say, World of Assassination wasn't out in 2000.
No. They're putting out as a 25th anniversary for World of Assassination because John Knitter has played 25 years worth in the last 5 years.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah. So it's been 25. Yep.
Yeah, for the character, for the series in general.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a shame they're not doing a Switch 2 version of it. Maybe they don't want to do a game key card.
They're doing it out of a wellness check for me. Like, that guy can't spend any more money on this game. No.
Yeah, sure. Just for you specifically.
Yep.
Let's see. As far as this one is from our release stuff, but I'll talk about it anyway. Turbo Overkill got an Ultimate Edition on Switch. I just thought I'd check it out because I was really high on it, earlier this year. And I got a pretty beefy update for free, and I played the part that I've been stuck on for a long time, and I did notice that it was much smoother than it's ever been. But I still am stuck on it. I still got killed. And if I go online, it's like you can get an upgrade for $5, but the upgrade is just a digital art book and a soundtrack. It's like, okay, well,
it's not a Switch 2 upgrade.
No, it's just to the digital, whatever. It's the ultimate upgrade. It doesn't say Switch 2 on it anywhere.
I guess I was a little confused why they even released an Ultimate Edition.
Well, they've done it for. I mean, well, not this company in particular, but like the Doom games did it. When they released like Doom 1 and 2, there was a Doom 1 and 2 Ultimate Edition that you could get for free, and it would put them both like in the same app or whatever. Like there was stuff like that other companies had did. So I expected it was kind of like that. It's just a better version of the game, I guess. But it also seems to be running
prettier,
better.
runs better.
Yeah.
Does it have additional content?
I mean, not that. I mean, the additional content I think is the art book that you have to pay for $5 or whatever. I think it's just supposed to be better running. I don't know.
It's just a little weird that they would say this is a whole new edition versus what everybody else does, which is just release update patches.
Yeah. Well, if you already have it, it'll just update on its own and won't really tell you that it's the ultimate version or whatever. And if you go to the eShop, it says you can get the ultimate version. I was like, well, what's on the ultimate version? It's like art book and soundtrack. I'm like, okay. So no upgrades. The upgrades are already there for free, which is fine because I don't want to pay any more for it. But I did just fuck around with it for a little bit just to see what it looked like.
Maybe it's just a way to like get people to play it again, to egg people on a little bit. Like, hey, we're gonna make it look prettier and whatever. We'll give you the art book, but now we're gonna call it Ultimate because if it was just DLC, some folks like me probably wouldn't give it a second look.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fun game. It's just 25 with the extra stuff now, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, the whole thing is kind of confusing. For me, it just gave me an excuse to look at it again because it was definitely a game I really liked, and I'd like to try to get farther into it because I was having a lot of fun before I got stuck where I'm just on where I have to fight like a whole bunch of bosses at once and I keep dying. That sort of thing. And also, it didn't run great the first time around. Like, it really had a lot of slowdown at that part, which made it even harder, even to where the music was changing. But at least they fixed that, so that's cool. I got to the end of Persona 3, the demo, the reload demo. I think last week I just started it. It's like it's a 10-hour-ish demo. I got through it in 7.5 hours. You get to almost through the end of May, and you fight a big boss on a train, of course, in Japan. And it makes me all the more excited to play it on Switch when it comes out next month. And right after that, I just started playing Persona 3 Portable because I already have Persona 3. And I just went right into that. And I noticed that the dialogue is almost exactly the same. Except for in Portable, you can play as a woman, so that's different. So Junpei is like creepy towards you now because you're playing as a lady. And I'm like, I don't like this. You're a weirdo, Junpei. Stop trying to hang on me. I don't want to hang out with you. So, but no, I mean, Persona's fun. It's I feel like it's a vibe, as they say. It's all about fighting demons and hanging out and getting ramen and doing all these different things to upgrade your stats when you're not slaying the demons in the Tartarus and all that. But yeah, I'm excited to play it. But the big release for me that I've been talking about like all year, it's probably gonna end up being my game of the year. No surprises for anyone there who's ever listened to the show.
Calling it early.
Is Trails in the Sky. The first chapter is out officially now on the Switch. For anybody who's not familiar, Trails in the Sky is the series. It's like the Game of Thrones of games or whatever. They have like 10 plus games, and you supposedly have to play all of them to understand them. So you can't start with Trails to Azure or like Trails through Daybreak or any of those. You got to start from this particular game, Trails in the Sky, the first chapter. And it was a 2004 game, a 2D. I think it might have even been like a PSP game originally. But it's in fully 3D now, and it looks fucking gorgeous. I bought the Switch 2 version for $60 instead of $59 because you get charged an extra $1 for your Switch 2 version, which is funny. But I did note, I noticed as you were talking about with the Sonic and the Sonic Racing Crossworlds with the like stuff with the animation in the background. I played through the demo of this. This one has a 10-hour demo that took me 9.5 hours to get through because I did everything on it. I tried to 100% it as much as I could. And when you're walking around the giant field area, you can see all of the enemies before you fight them, and everything's completely seamless too. There's it's turn-based, but it's action. Like, it's probably one of the best battle systems I think I've ever played in any RPG. Because it's just so fast. Everything is so fast. And sometimes you don't have to even go into you have a button that you press to make it turn-based, like whenever you want to. Unless it's like a major boss, you just go straight into it. But when you're in this big level, you'll see people in the background. You'll see them moving around, like at the 10 FPS, where they look kind of like they're stop-motion-y. That all seems to be gone in the Switch 2 version. Like, I didn't see it anywhere. And I looked around, and I did not see any of that animation. So they fixed that. And on the eShop, it says that you can change it that you can play it in 4K at 30 FPS, or you can play it in 1080 and 60 FPS. But I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to change that. Like, I've looked through the options a bunch of times, and I've tried turning the HDR on and off. Not that it would matter, because 4K, you don't need HDR to have 4K. And my TV is 4K, but doesn't have HDR. I mean, I don't care. I just want it to be in 60, and it feels like it's in 60 the whole time. I just want the menu to tell me that it is, I guess. But yeah, but no, it looks great. Like, it looks very pretty. The characters are very cool. Speaking of sexy Ganondorf, Matt Mercer was the voice of him, right? Yeah. Matt Mercer is a voice in this game too. He plays Olivier, who is this. He's a pansexual bard, I believe, who's he's kind of amazing. He Yeah, he like so the two main characters are Joshua and Estelle. They're these, they're brother and sister. They're the kids. Well, Joshua's adopted. I think he's from the Empire or whatever. We'll probably get into that later in the game. But their father, Cassius Bright, is like this famous bracer. He's like bracers are basically like, they're like vigilantes sort of. They are hired help. People, you can do different missions for the bracers, and people hire you to escort them different places or fight monsters for them or whatever. And these are your two main characters for the most part, but you meet people along the way. And you meet this Olivier guy, and he hardcore hits on Josh like right off the bat. Like he's like super way into Joshua, and I was like, oh wow, like it was weird to see. It was weird to me to see like such an openly gay like character like in a game from 20 years ago or whatever. But from what I heard, I guess they've changed some of the dialogue because I think they were a little more. From what I've seen, I've been following some stuff online about it, and I guess some of the dialogue's been changed, and they weren't as nice to him the first time that you see him. They kind of were a little more homophobic in that. But I think they're more like, oh, you like guys. But I think before they're like, oh, you're like those people or whatever. It seemed a little bit more like they were trying to look down on him. But
gotcha.
But that's a fun thing of remakes, right? They can make them better. But no, the characters, he's like hilarious, and he's like, he's definitely the comedic part of the game. He's super over the top. He thinks he's like the hottest person on Earth, but he also is, he becomes obsessed with. He says he's in love with beautiful people. That's why I call him a pansexual, because he thinks Joshua's the hottest, but he also does like women as well. So but it's only attractive ones. Like he said, Estelle was not attractive, but he likes the other ones. So but yeah. Anyway, he's silly. He sings songs. And likes to get people into trouble or whatever. But yeah, I've been playing it the English version just because like as you walk across like the map, they talk to each other back and forth, and they'll talk in the battles and all that. And if it's in Japanese, you might miss some of it because not all of it is subtitled. So I was like, I'll just switch it to English. Plus, they have like really great chemistry, like the Joshua and Estelle do, and the other characters. And I love any RPG where like. You talk like where they talk to each other about the story, like while you're walking towards the story. Like I think that's so cool, where they have this whole like, they have this camaraderie or whatever in the party.
Like GTA's,
you actually
GTA
feel like
that, like when you're driving in the car in Grand Theft Auto.
Sure, yeah.
The characters are talking to that kind of thing. Yeah, that's cool. Something to fill out the blank spaces, if you will. Yeah.
I mean, they've done that before. Like what was it? Tales of Symphonia did that on GameCube. Like you could have party conversations like in between acts or whatever. Like as you're going to the next place, people talk to each other. I like how seamless it is, because I think for that one you had to hit a button and then you had to watch like faces talk to each other. But this one you just talk while you're walking. They'll just talk about what's happening in the story, and it just seems really natural and fluent and all that. And on the subject of like the battle system. So I guess this was established in like some of the Trails Through Daybreak, which I did try some of the demo of that one like a few weeks ago, just to compare it. But so it has this combination of like action RPG and turn-based RPG, as to where like if the enemies are like weak enough, you can just come up to them and just punch them, just hit them without going into the battle, and they'll just automatically die, and you get experience points, and you move on to the next thing. Like everything is just really fast. And like for instance, you see a couple guys on the horizon, you walk up to them, you do a little combo, you do like a super move, and then if you go straight in, and then if you hit the button to go straight into the turn-based battle, then you can combo it into another character, and then they're done in like a couple seconds, and then you got your experience points, you're out. It just feels so cool, like how quick it is. Because there's so many games that where that can be like what drags it down. It's like how slow the combat is, or how much these games, like a huge percentage of the game is combat, and I just like how zippy it is, and like the load times are like almost non-existent. You can you'll see like maybe a second, like they give you these little hints in the load times, and I've never been able to read them because they're not up there for long enough. So, but yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm 23 hours into it. I'm like almost at the end of the first chapter, I think, and there's like 4 chapters. So. I was trying to look online to see, like, the original one's around like 50 hours, so this is the main one I really wanted to get through. And the reason I've been so excited about it is this is made by the same people who made the Ease games, and these Trails games have been it's been been a blind spot for me for a long time, just because I wanted to start from the beginning, and now finally you can with this very glorious 3D remake of the original game.
Where does this sit on the on the realm or whatever of RPGs? Is this like an RPG-ass RPG, or is this something a little bit more? Something that I might.
I was going to say what. I mean, you might like. I mean, it would find. I think you'd find it a little bit more approachable just because of the actionness to it. But I mean, I don't see you like getting into it, because you don't play RPGs. But but I mean, I do think like the story is different from most because it's. I wouldn't say it's as like tropey. It's not like young kid goes to save the world from whatever bad guy. Like there's a lot of politics, and a lot of it's more like there's a deeper story there. You're not like automatically out to save the world. You're just working as a bracer. You're just doing jobs for people, and complications come from that. I mean, you could try out the demo. Like I said, it's got a 10-hour demo. I think it's worth looking at just to see how fucking gorgeous it looks because it's a pretty ass game. Like I think it looks really nice, and I really like the art design of it. I mean, also it looks like I said it's a Falcom game, so it looks very much like an Ys game, even to the point of. I was able to buy a red wig for Joshua from the store, and now he looks exactly like Adol. It's wild. I'm like, wow, it's like I'm playing an Ys game right here.
Is this Switch 2 or Switch 1?
Both. It's on Switch 1 and 2. It's a $1 upgrade, but there's a demo. It shows a demo for both versions, and if you go to the eShop, it shows like a Switch 2 version and a Switch 1 version. But like I said, they're $1 different. It's like $59.99 for Switch 1, and it's $60.99 for Switch 2. It's like the two different things, but yeah, no, it's I think it's really cool. Throw your Adol wig on there and be like, hey, there he is. Oh, and it's actually it's been doing really well. It's tied. Last I checked, it was tied for with 91% on Metacritic, but tied with Donkey Kong Bonanza for most best reviews and all that. So that was pretty awesome. It's also, if you go to the eShop, it's like right up top, like they've been featuring and all that. And I think it's been selling well, regardless of how like abstract it is. But I think a lot of people have been waiting for fucking, for at least a way to play Trails in the Sky 1. Even if it was the original version, I was hoping they would just re-release that. But the fact that they just went out and did this full-on remake of it is really cool. But I think it's, like I said, it's an interesting story. Like you go and you do jobs for the bracers. And towards the end of the demo, you find out that your dad is like disappears. Like your dad is on an airplane that that disappears, maybe crashed, maybe got stolen. Nobody knows. And I still have not found the dad yet. I don't know where he is, but yeah, it's got different twists and turns. But it's definitely not like as like, oh yeah, no, there's this big bad guy and we're going to save the world or whatever. There's all these. There's different countries that have different bracers, and there's the army that hates the bracers, and there's these other people, and there's bandits, and there's all these different things going on. So I feel like it's written well from what I can tell, and it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't remind me of other RPGs. You couldn't be like, oh yeah, no, this is the same, kid goes to save the world like most Dragon Quests or Final Fantasies or whatever. But I think it's very cool, and I've been waiting all year for it to come out, and it finally fucking did. And I even had to wait till 2 a.m. for it to be released. I mean, it was this one was killing me because they never did a pre-order or anything. They just kept saying like estimated release date. And I was working, I was out of town, and I wanted to just like play a little bit like at 11, but 11 came, it didn't show up. Midnight came, it didn't show up. I had to get up early, so I went to bed. And I like got up to pee, and then it was finally up at like 2 a.m. So I had to download it because I couldn't preload it, and I was on like hotel Wi-Fi, so it took like 3 hours to download. But I just went back to bed, and then I got up and I just turned it on just to have it on, and I played a cutscene while I was brushing my teeth or whatever in the morning, and I just wanted to see that it worked, and it finally did, and now I've been able to play it. But yeah, but that's enough on that. I didn't want to get too Trails heavy because I know you don't know that much about it, and I don't want to put you to sleep. But
I appreciate it.
I think that's a good time to take a break here.
Sure.
Let's take a break, and then we'll talk about whatever news we got after this.
I'm going to eat as much Pocky as I can.
Go for it. Pocky it up.
Hey, you.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, you. Subscribe to our Patreon to hear our bonus shows, which happen every month.
I'm tired.
Tired of all the big corporate podcasts spoon-feeding you the same old video game news on every single show?
Spaghetti. Ravioli.
Then expand!
With NintenDomain Expansion Pack.
It's us talking about old games that were important to us. It's us interviewing people that we meet at conventions. And heck, it's live shows from those same conventions. It's basically everything you could want that NintenDomain ever made.
Here we go!
And it's just $1 a month.
That's less than a bad indie on the eShop.
It's $12 a year, which is less than Nintendo Switch Online.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our Patreon and supporting NintenDomain.
Just go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast and, hey, Mario, let go. Whoa! He's throwing us back to the show.
So long, Bowser.
Patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast.
Game over.
We're back from the break. I just wanted to mention, I always forget to talk about my middle name. My White Monkey Sheep Fist was a move where a sheep thing kicked me in the face in Trails in the Sky. That's where that came from, in case everybody was really wondering.
White Monkey Sheep Fist
is what it's called. Yeah, it was a super move that was done to me during a boss battle against a bunch of rabid sheep that I fought on a mission in Trails in the Sky. So
please break down each element of White Monkey Sheep Fist.
It's a super move where they kick me in the face and it hurt a lot. I don't know. That's what it was called. That's what the move was called. White Monkey Sheep Fist. I thought it was funny. I was going to put a different one on there, but that one works well for me. But yeah, let's talk about the news.
News. Don't snooze or you miss the news.
Let's talk about the news for the week. We actually have a lot of games coming out this week. Let's talk about the releases. New releases. The Tourist Deluxe version is coming out for Switch 2 from Shinen. They I'm just curious about this because they always are so good with technology. And I never really played the other one, but supposedly the Tourist on PlayStation 4 is like the only game that runs in 8K on consoles. So
I hear that, yeah.
So there you go. But yeah, it's coming out for $19.99 this week. As we said earlier, Sonic Racing Crossworlds is coming out also on the 25th. And the big one is Hades 2 is coming out as well on the 25th. And isn't there like a big sale on the first one? Isn't like Hades 1 going for like...
There's a big sale. Yeah,
like
it's like $6
cheap.
or something. Yeah.
Should try it out. It's a game that
I thought about it.
People
then
like.
this Amiibo thing happened, and that's where my money went. So, yeah.
Well, Hades 2. I'm still not sure if I'm going to get it or not. I don't know. I have a hard time getting into those roguelike games. I know it's great. I know people love it. We'll see. I'm probably going to wait on it, considering that I just bought Sonic Racing Crossworlds and Trails from the Sky. But what I'm definitely not going to get, but's coming out this week, is Pac-Man World 2 Repack. I don't need it because I already have it on GameCube. I get the GameCube one that came with Pac-Man Verse. So,
oh yeah,
it's that game, Pac-Man World 2. I've played it before on GameCube. I guess there's a lot of people like it. I guess they're happy that it's coming out, but I don't care.
Sure, I think this is a Pac-Man anniversary year as well, isn't it? Must be a reason why it's coming out.
I don't know. I don't really. Yeah, I don't follow the Pac-Man release stuff. If it is, then Pac-Man's getting more than Mario did.
Yeah, 1980 was when it came out. So yeah, it's 45 years.
Oh, okay. EA Sports FC 26, that's coming out. The football game that's out this week. The NBA Bounce, the NBA
it's like a kids NBA Jam
ish with like the whatever you call them, the what are they called?
The mascots, right?
Mascots, yeah. with all the mascots, you can play as Benny the Bull or whatever. That's coming out. Blippo, wasn't this a game you put on Slack? It's like
This is one that I'm really interested in.
It's like a TV. I was trying to figure out exactly what it is. It's out now.
Me too. It's
Blippo Plus. It's like, I think it's on sale for $12 or something like that. It's not expensive, but I don't know exactly what you do. I guess it's like a TV. You like flip channels or something. I don't.
It's an FMV game. I'm not certain exactly what it is either, and I think that's part of the point of the marketing. It's supposed to be sort of esoteric. Yeah. But it's like, what if you had a game that was a weird cable access TV show with live action footage? So I'm in. $15. That's cool. I'm getting this game for sure at some point.
Blippo is a live action new wave off cable TV simulator. Channel surf the stars and discover the staticky, radical world of Planet Blip, and through its soaps, sitcoms, news, weather, and talk shows. But don't touch that remote, because everything's about to get bent. That's one of the paragraphs.
It's very intriguing. That's from Panics, the same people who gave us, who distributed Goose Game and Thank Goodness You're Here.
Yeah.
Games that I really liked.
Yeah, I think it looks interesting. Yeah, it's $14.99. It's on sale for $13.49 right now through October 7th. So there you go. It's on sale a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued, but I don't know.
I'll give you the word because I'm getting this game for sure at some point.
Wizardom, which is like a newer, it seems to be like a attempt to do like a pay homage to like a Heretic and Hexen and all that, which just came out, but it's out this week too for $20. Puzzle Quest, if you remember that game, I played a lot of it on 3DS, or not 3DS, I think it was regular DS even, back in the day. It's basically like it's a puzzle game, but it has RPG elements in it as to where you can level up and fight monsters, and the different colors would like be different, different spell types and all that. You could do like, fire and ice and whatever different stuff that work differently for different characters. I actually played a lot of the DS version. It's cool that it got a re-release or it's a remake or whatever, but I don't see myself diving back into it. But I did spend a lot of time on it, and it was a really good puzzle game for its time.
Yeah, it was pretty popular. I remember.
I already talked about the Turbo Overkill Ultimate Edition is out. Henry Halfhead. I remember seeing a trailer that you posted. That one's out today, right? It kind of looks like an isometric Geist game, where
you possess things.
Yeah, you're a head that floats around and possesses things. It kind of reminds me of the game.
A little bit of Geist, a little bit of Cappy from Mario Odyssey. Yeah, and it's a bite-sized type of game that say you can beat it in about the length of a movie. One of the reviews that I read,
and it's cheaper than most movies. For $12.99.
Yeah, it's $11.69. Kotaku says that it's actually a pretty good game. They say it's short but effective.
It kind of looks like the type of game you would get into, like some weirdness or whatever.
I like those weird games.
Got that quirky charm to it.
They say it's a movie-length experience that's as moving as it is silly. I'd go for that.
Yeah,
I won't go for Bop It, the video game, though. I mean,
yeah, that is out. I was like, what? I was like, is this game actually out? I found it on the eShop. It's out there. Like, talk about like probably one of the least interesting things I think I've ever heard is a video game version of like a joke, like an old joke from our childhood here, or joke in the form of a toy or something. I don't know. Did you ever know anybody who owned one or like? Ever seen one? Like, I just remember that...
I've seen one at the toy store, but I've never...
Well, I mean, like an opened one. Like, I just remember just making fun of the commercial. Like, we all remember the dumb commercial, but did anybody actually own one? It seemed one of those things that looked like it'd be fun for about 2 minutes, and I'm sure that's more time than you'll get of enjoyment out of this game that's coming out for $7.99.
This is something that's made for 7-year-old kids or whatever. But I think it just kind of misses the point of the actual product, which is here's something tactile that you can bop and squeeze and pull and all that. And And now it's a video game, so you can't do any of those things, actually.
Yeah, it's like, by bop it, you mean like press A? Or
Right.
twisted, you press B? I don't know. Yeah,
I'm sure it uses the Joy-Con in motion and all that stuff.
It doesn't really, it does not convey the 2 minutes of happiness you might get from the actual bop it.
I think we've already given it too much time.
Yeah, for sure. It's stupid that it exists. And yes, there it is.
Little Gator game in the dark.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, that's not a release for this week, but that's an update that's happening at some point. A Little Gator game was a game that I bought way back when because people really liked it, and I never actually played it. It was just one of those that I picked up on sale, and I just never got around to it. But maybe this will give me a reason to do it. I forget what I'm trying. A Short Hike, that one. It was compared to A Short Hike, which was a game that I really loved, which had kind of DS style 3D graphics, and it ended up being on my Game of the Year list for that year. And it's just about a little guy that has to get to the top of a mountain, and it's kind of supposed to have that sort of charm. Like it's like you're pretending to be in a video game, and there's like bad guys that are cardboard cutouts that aren't real, but you can knock them down. And a lot of it's about the dialogue and how you interact with the characters and all that. And it was really well reviewed at the time. And yeah, it was part of a stream or something. They announced that there was more coming to it. So cool. But speaking of stuff coming to things, the Nintendo Switch Online, we're getting 2 more Game Boy Advance games tonight. They'll be out tonight. And that is Mr. Driller and Klonoa, which I actually have the Klonoa game. I don't remember if I bought it physical or if I bought it as a Wii U Virtual Console game. But I remember getting this game because of, because Klonoa on PlayStation was kind of one of those like holy grail things that I really wanted to play. Because I had heard people talk so well of it and I didn't have a PlayStation. I couldn't play it. So I remember playing the sequel on Game Boy Advance, which was not quite the same, but it was fun for what it was. And here it is again. I can fuck around with it again. So it's kind of, I was just thinking about it. It's kind of funny that I was like so all about playing this one game, and they have the Klonoa PlayStation games on Switch, and I never bought them because there's just so many other things to play now that I don't really care anymore. But at one point I did, and I really, really wanted to play those games, and I still haven't. But I'll fuck around with the Game Boy Advance game. I know those Mr. Driller games are always like really well reviewed and whatnot. So, and I think one of the Mr. Drillers is on sale for like a couple bucks right now.
It's always on sale
on Switch. Yeah, Mr. Driller 2 or whatever. It's like $4. I think I saw it on there, like on the cheap. So there you go.
We got 9 tracks from Donkey Kong Bonanza on Nintendo Music.
So we finally have one new game. Did you look at them? They don't even have all the transformations. They're missing the fucking elephant song. Like, what the hell, guys?
I don't know what...
It's so weird. This here's
some of them.
Here's some of it. I mean, maybe they don't want to. Maybe they don't want to lose money in their CD game. In Japan where they do sell like CD soundtracks still at Tower Records or whatever. But it's just weird that it's like here's 9 songs, but not even all of the Bonanza transformation songs. It's like what?
It seems like the greater money making opportunity would be to sell those people on a Nintendo Switch Online subscription. Like if you're going to be buying CDs and stuff. I mean, we all know it's big over there, but it's not really. People aren't really buying CDs and stuff in general, or albums and stuff in general. People are going to streaming, and I don't know. It's just it still perplexes me that Nintendo is not using the music channel as a means to advertise, hey, buy these games, check out this great soundtrack,
Yeah, that would have made much more sense, especially with the new DLC being out and all that.
Maybe if you don't want to put out all the songs, whatever. I mean, there's got to be like how many songs in that game? 60, something like that, Can you do more than 9 for those of us who've been enjoying the game for the last couple of months?
I mean, all I asked for is all the transformation songs. You couldn't give us all of the transformation songs? Like, there's only like 5 of them. You couldn't give us all of those? I mean, we got the zebra one at least, which is the best one, I think. But I really like that elephant one, and it's not on there. What the fuck, guys?
Well, those would be spoilers for people who haven't played. They don't want to release the song.
Oh, sure.
Because those would be spoilers.
Sure. Yeah, I guess that could be an excuse for it. I guess.
Yeah.
But also, it's like, just what the hell, man? Just put more stuff out there, please.
We have to commend them. They're doing a great job putting things out every week for Nintendo Music. Like
they're staying
above
at it
and beyond the expectation. They're staying at it. They didn't start strong. They had a weak library at the top, but they have been putting up something every week.
I figued that was the idea. They're just
yeah.
gonna give us something every week, even though there were a couple weeks that they missed. But it's there were reasons. I think they did it like they did one later in the week or something like that. So now we can keep this going for the next however many weeks, lots of weeks. Even though I know they have plenty of other stuff. I mean, do you ever listen to it? Ever? Like the last time I listened to it was just for the new Kirby Air Rider stuff that was on there. That's like the last time I used my Nintendo Music, which was like a couple months ago, I think. Like the app.
I haven't listened to it recently, but I'd say I listened to it, not infrequently.
I think it's worth it to hop on and see what's new, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait some weeks or a couple months and then be like, what are the newest things? Let's throw those into a playlist and see what's, even though a lot of them.
There's not a whole lot of times where I personally I'm doing something that I want to listen to music. Like I know a lot of folks, if you're driving, you want to listen to music. Me, most of the time when I'm driving, these days I'm door dashing, and I don't like to listen to stuff while I'm doing that. The only scenario where I really like listen to music and stuff is if I'm cleaning the house, and even then, I don't know. This is something about I get distracted by
it's hard to
music. If I'm
focus,
doing something and
it's hard to
listening
focus
to
on
music,
the same thing. Yeah,
exactly.
I was gonna say I don't know how you DoorDash without. I mean, do you not listen to anything while you're doing it?
No, I listen to nothing.
Or you just wait, right? You just wait for your.
No, I just listen to
the
whatever the direction is.
Oh, yeah.
I get distracted if I'm trying to listen to directions and there's a song playing. And
I don't listen to directions at all because it'll interrupt my playlist. So I've since the invention of whatever things that tell you where to go, I've muted that stupid voice because I never want to hear it ever. It's like, get out of there! You're ruining my music. Well, mostly I listen to podcasts all the time. That's what I do. But
that's the thing. Podcasts have sort of overtaken my listening time.
And that also kind of depends on how much I'm working on other things or whatever. Because whatever. But yeah, I did want to mention. I don't know if is this still on sale. I don't know if it is. I think I posted it a while ago. If it's even available, I guess it still is. The game Billion Road, which was on my Game of the Year list for whatever year that came out. I think it was 2020. I think it might have even been a 2020 game, right?
Mm-hmm.
April 16th, 2020. This is a game that Jess and I played the crap out of. It's a really awesome game. It's like a Mario Party game. It's kind of like a mixture of Fortune Street and Mario Party. You could say Fortune Street was like the one created by Yuji Horii, the Dragon Quest guy, where it's kind of like Monopoly but not annoying. But it's
so is Billion Road like to Fortune Street what Stardew is to Harvest Moon? Like,
not really. I mean,
somebody took up the mantle.
Well, I mean, Billion Road is different from Fortune Street. Is its own thing. Fortune Street is like, whenever people would ask me what I did in the pandemic, my funny answer is I learned how to play Fortune Street, because that game is its own thing. It's got its own strategy that you have to learn how to do that involves stocks and trading and all that. I don't think you do that as much in Billion Road. Billion Road is like it's you're supposed to be on like a Japanese TV show, like a game show, and they'll be like, all right, get from this point to this point over a year. So you go through, and I guess I think you can change how much time you do it, but normally we would do it like over a year, I think. But there's different events that happen, and you can pick up monsters to accompany you, and you can train your monsters, and you can also send them out to save Tokyo, because there'll be kaijus that attack during the game. There'll be giant Godzilla type creatures that show up, and you can use your monsters to go out and defend the city, and if you end up defeating them, you get a big bonus from that. But I think all of it's come home with the most money, pretty much. But you can invest in things. You can invest in popular Japanese restaurants and food and stuff like that. And I remember there's streaming shows that happened. It's just kind of it's a ride. It's a very fun multiplayer game. I wouldn't really recommend the single player, but Jess and I had a lot of fun with it. We put plenty of time into it, and I think it's a really, really cool game. And if you're into Japanese culture or just learning about Japanese, areas and all that, it's a very cool thing to play. And like I said, it's quirky, it's fun, it's got the weirdness to it, and it's $4 is fucking it's a steal. And I had heard that somewhere that
Less than $1 billion.
it might get like delisted. So just get it just so you can have it. Like I just thought it was really cool. To me, I kind of felt like it was like maybe it's our version of that like train game that's really popular in Japan that never got localized. That's kind of like a similar thing where it's like Mario Party where it's a virtual board game but you're moving across Japan. That's kind of what I got. It's like maybe like a simpler version of that, I guess, but it's fun. We had a great time with it. We played it many times, and I highly recommend it for anybody who has friends or family members that want to play fun, quirky multiplayer Japanese games.
We got some announcements. Arcade Archives, Steelworker, which looks like I don't know, I've never heard of this arcade game before, but it's a hamster company bringing something back from the past. Actually, it's out on September 18th.
I'll say it's out right now. It's out this week.
Right now. Yep.
It to me it kind of looked like Donkey Kong, I guess, with the girders and all that. That's kind of what it reminded me of. I mean,
they say it's a puzzle game though. It's about connecting a path to a destination by placing scaffolding for a workman. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about the game. I'm just saying, like, just looking at the picture, just the art style reminds me of that era of arcade games. You know, of Donkey Kong, original TK, OG.
Cool. Skate Story. This one has like an interesting look to it. Remember covering this maybe a year or so ago. I think it hit PlayStation first, but now it's coming to Switch 2. And it's like you're this like mirror character, like you're very reflective, and it's a skating game, and like it's all very like low angle, like in the fashion of the skate games, you know, where the camera's like almost nearby the board and all that kind of thing. It looks pretty stylish and interesting.
I'm just gonna read the first sentence of this details on the game, just because it already has me intrigued right by here. You are a demon in the underworld, made out of glass and pain. The devil has given you a skateboard with a simple deal. Skate to the moon and swallow it, and you shall be freed. Already, I'm on board right there with that.
Skateboard.
With that one. Glass and pain. I want to know about that. Yeah, no, it looks like it looks like a skateboarding game with a hell of a lot of art style to it. It's a Devolver Digital also game, so cool. I don't know. I'm pretty interested in that. We should have an actual release date. It just says 2025, and there's not that much left of it. Hypnotic Beats for Demonic Streets.
How about Lollipop Chainsaw? You getting that? Repop?
I mean, it's been out for a long time, and it's been on my list for a long time. I mean, the reason I'm interested in it is they did specifically say they were doing a Switch 2 version of it, because I guess it didn't run that well for Switch 1 when it came out. But it is on sale right now for $20, and, you know, I thought about it, but...
It's going to be a free pay... Wait, no, it didn't say if it was going to be a free or paid upgrade.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about the upgrade, but I was like, well, you know, if it's going to get an upgrade, I could buy it now on the cheap and not... But, I mean, also I have other things that I'm playing. I don't need more games that I won't play. So, but I mean, yeah, I'm interested to see what the Switch 2 version is. Whenever that happens, I will be more intrigued by it. I was really hoping, you know, speaking of Suda 5-1 games, I was really hoping that we would see some more stuff about Romeo Must Die from Tokyo Game Show, which Tokyo Game Show is like just started, like I said earlier. So we may get it by next week. But there was a news thing a while back saying that that Suda was actually specifically, you know, trying to figure out how well they can make it run on Switch 2. So
looking into
get that on there, because I think that game is awesome. But I've always been intrigued by Lollipop Chainsaw, especially don't forget it was written by James Gunn, who is the DC,
who's busy doing other things
the
right
DC Universe owner now, whatever, you know. We just watched Superman again on HBO Max a couple days ago. It still holds up. It's still a lot of fun.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. I liked it even more the second time around. I think it's a solid-ass movie. And also, Peacemaker Season 2 has been solid as fuck, too.
He seems like a video game guy, too. I mean, he wrote this video game, and also they put out last week a video for
the Batman game? The
Batman game.
New Lego Batman game?
Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. And it's an 8-minute featurette. You should go watch it if you're interested at all in Batman or Lego games. James Gunn is like kind of headlining it. So the boss of DC, who was busy doing movies and other stuff, it cares to actually promote this game. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like that. I always wish that like the video games would get roped into the whole like the MCU. We got the MCU movies, but why don't we have like side story games that go along with like the MCU? Like I always thought that would be really cool, but they never really did it. And then we had that one Avengers game where it was like the not Avengers. They weren't even any of the. It wasn't even any of the actors, and it didn't have anything to do with the movies, and it crashed and burned real hard. And it's like, why don't I would have loved to see like, they used to do that a lot more with the licensed games, where they do like in between stories, or they'd like expand on the movie and add like, extra stuff. And some of those are really cool, So I kind of miss that stuff if they would have the proper guidance and they would give it more time to develop and become a cool game or whatever,
Yeah, this is one thing that DC has gained on Marvel. You don't see Kevin. I'm not trying to shame him or anything. Kevin Feige's a busy guy, but you never saw him out there
promoting video games,
promoting the video games. And I guess that wasn't really like part of the.
Well, they didn't have. Yeah, they didn't really have a whole lot of like
for them. Yeah,
I mean, I guess the closest thing you had is like there were some like Lego Marvel games that kind of imitated the movies, but it would have been cool to see like an official like MCU game or whatever, with Kevin Feige on there or whatever. But yeah, no, I that makes me happy to see James Gunn like actually. That just saying that made me think that maybe we could have like a really cool like Justice League game or something like that, like that had some supervision from James Gunn or whatever. That'd be cool in the future,
Yeah, I don't know, or maybe thinking about the recent Toxic Avenger movie. Not to go too far into that, but James Gunn, connected to trauma and all that. Like, it'd just be cool to see him like use his might a little bit to, I don't know. Let's get a new like cool Toxic Avenger game or something. Bring them into. I know that Toxic Avenger was on DC, right?
No, Toxic Avenger. I think the actual.
What was with Marvel,
I think the Toxic Avenger comics might have been Marvel.
Okay.
At some point, but I mean, there is a Toxic Avenger movie or game coming.
There's one,
soonish in a few weeks already. But
I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. That's James Gunn. Yeah, bring us a cool DC game.
Yep,
that's all I ask.
Hey, here's something cool that's coming out that I'm definitely going to get.
I want a Lobo game. That's what I want. Well, everybody's going to know Lobo next year when you see Jason Momoa play as Lobo. I have a ton of Lobo comics, as I've seen through. Lobo is like, he's like Deadpool, but cooler. Right. I guess he's a bounty hunter that's out there, but he's like also sort of immortal, or whatever. And he'll call you a Bastich all the time, and he's great. I can't wait to see what they do with him. But there was it'd be fun to play, to be like flying around the galaxy as Lobo and just hunting different alien species or whatever. I'd be into a game like that. Everybody's going to be talking about him next year after the Supergirl movie comes out. I guarantee it. He's going to get his own.
Bigger than Aquaman.
Get his own movie.
Hyperfunk. This is like kind of low key. Not really talked about much. Surprisingly, I found this video 3 days after it premiered on YouTube. I was really surprised that I just was not notified about this earlier. But Hyperfunk is a sequel to Bomb Rush Cyberfunk.
I guess they did. Yeah, I guess they did well enough to get another one, right?
Yeah, that's very cool. I mean, I love that game. I still intend to play all the way through it. I never finished it. I got a good 15 hours.
Now you got to get on it before the sequel.
I got to finish it. Yeah. If we're ever in the same space again, soon,
trade it back again.
Yes, I'll give you a second chance. You can play Bomb Rush Cyberfunk because it's a really cool game. I mean, what's funny about this is, remember they announced that Jet Set Radio sequel?
Yeah, like years ago.
We haven't heard a word about it since then, like 2 years ago, whatever. But I'm pretty sure this Bomb Rush Cyberfunk sequel is going to come out before that one does.
Yeah, we're gonna see like two
homage games.
Two homage games before we see the actual Sega one.
Yeah, go watch the trailer for this one if you haven't already. It's just called Hyperfunk, not called Bomb Rush Hyperfunk or anything.
Yeah, I did watch some of it. I mean, it's got a very cool art style, and it does. Yeah, it looks very cool.
Seems like they threw in breakdancing. Like you could breakdance in the first one, but there was more just like an aside kind of thing. Like like when you're saving, you save on like a breakdance pad. But it seems like now they've brought breakdancing into the actual action, which it looks really cool in the trailer. Like you're rollerblading along, and then you just like get down on the ground and spin around on your back in the middle of it, and as you're traversing the level. I don't know. This game is great. It gives you a really like sort of freewheeling sense. A lot of fluidity to the movements and everything. They succeeded so well with the first one that I can't wait to see what they do with the second one. I thought I heard a hint that they were trying to make this more of a multiplayer experience, which would be even cooler. Bring in a bunch of people to break dance and skate across the city together. Cool.
Is there an official Switch 2 version, or is it just a Switch 1?
No. So this was just a tease. It wasn't even...
Yeah, there was no...
They didn't even say anything specific.
Yeah, no consoles announced or whatever. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be... It'd be stupid to not have it on there, since Switch 2 is doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm all about this one. Can't wait for this to come out.
Before I forget it, I wanted to mention Street Fighter 6 is like the cheapest any Switch 2 game has been. It's on sale for $20 right now. Street Fighter 6 is like is one of the best fighting games out there. Like anybody who has any sort of interest, like maybe you remember playing Street Fighter 2 when you're a kid or whatever, and you want to see like how cool it is now, like play it. $20 is a steal for that game. Like it'd give you hours and hours of gameplay. Well, I mean, also I would think that you might get into it just because of the open world beat 'em up aspect of it. I think you would play the single player, and it has like the loading times are really low. Like that was a problem that I had with the PlayStation 4 version on the single player open world thing, is that it took too long to load the fights and to like move from one area to another in the city and all that. And I felt like it was improved on the Switch 2 version. But $20 is, I mean, I think that game's excellent. Like that's probably one of my, it's definitely one of my favorite, definitely my favorite new like fighting game that's out there. Probably, and definitely one of my favorite Street Fighters like of all time. Like I think it's really good.
And that's helpful because Switch 2 is not really on a consistent rhythm as far as new games coming out. I think we got plenty to play these days, lots to tide us over, but it hasn't quite reached its stride yet as far as a rhythm. And so to get a top tier game like this for $20 for the first time, great.
Yeah, cool. Excellent game.
It's only keep a lot of people busy.
Yeah, only been out for a couple months, and I think it's on sale through like October, maybe it's either end of September or October. But anybody who hasn't played it has Switch 2.
I checked. Yeah, it was like 8 days left or something as of this recording.
Yeah, but it's a really good port too. It's got I know it has 60 FPS on the fighting game part of it, and I thought it looked really nice. Like it was a good representation of like what third parties could do with the system at the time. I feel like it was one of the better ones for launch day and all that. And they roped in like the DLC characters and all that stuff. And just to be clear, the $20 version is just the base game. You don't get like the extra DLC characters that are on like the $50 version or whatever, I don't think. Because I think it was $40 by itself without the DLC stuff. But, if you don't care about that, then there's still a lot of game there. You still have the whole game. You're just missing some of the DLC characters.
And you can pick up your Amiibo for $16 too, the $40 Amiibo. What a great day to be a Street Fighter fan who hasn't got Street Fighter 6. Yep.
Yeah. I have one of the. I just got one of the Street Fighter 6 Amiibo just because, but I don't really like the characters that much that they made into Amiibo. I kind of wish they would have done the newer versions of the old characters instead of like the new characters. I mean, I got Luke because Luke's like the face of the game, but I would have liked to see like the homeless Ken or whatever that's in there, where he's all fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to see like the doll scene with the giant beard, or like some of the, or like the weird looking bison, like that would be cool too. But
the original ones
that was the DLC
versions.
character. But yeah, the original ones with their different, or just make a fucking Zangief amiibo. Like that guy's my favorite guy ever. So
make it massive.
One of him. Yeah, this guy, he's big, but bigger. Yeah, it would have to be massive, and find a way for it to like do a spinning pile driver to all the other amiibo somehow. We could just do that. But yeah, good shit.
Some new Switch 1 games. Nickelodeon were announced, not out yet. Announced. Splat Pack, Nickelodeon Splat Pack. This one kind of confused me a little bit because it's like it seems a little bit lackluster. Like there's not enough games here.
Well, and there's some big ones missing, right?
Big ones missing, yeah.
Specifically, Ren and Stimpy, which which
I played.
I played a lot. I mean, I played a lot of those Ren and Stimpy games. Actually, mostly Vidiots on Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I played the crap out of. I do have a Stimpy's Time Machine. I have the Genesis one also, I played those. Well, and I have the space game, the Game Boy one also.
Yeah, I always wanted to get Quest for the Shaven Yak on Game Gear. That was the game that I wanted as a kid.
Yeah,
we got that.
I mean, I think Vidiots was a pretty good game. I actually did beat that game like back in the day. I mean, it's hard. It's a hard ass game, but if you're a fan of Ren and Stimpy, I thought it did a pretty good job representing the show at the time, and the animation looked good for a Super Nintendo game.
Here's what you're getting on this Splat Pack. You get Real Monsters, both for Genesis and Super Nintendo. You get Guts for Super Nintendo. You get Rocco's Modern Life for Super Nintendo. And that's it.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was into it, because it's all Super Nintendo games. It's all Super Nintendo games I don't have. So, you know,
it just seems
within reason, I would get it if it's not like $70 or whatever, you know.
I mean, if you were around at the time playing video games and watching Nickelodeon at the time, your immediate reaction to this is, there was so much more. Like, why is there only 3 games on here? You know, this is not in line with the recent trend of trying to put every game in a series onto a collection. And it's not even close. So it's like, I don't know, it feels like I'm getting gypped right at the jump. And I can't really say that any of these was like a real banger, memorable game.
The Rocco's Modern Life game was pretty good. That's the only one I know anything about.
That's about the best, the bunch, is that was pretty good,
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those games that I always wanted to play more of. I remember, I think I rented it, but that's kind of the main one of this collection that I would want to get into. But just like I said, just the fact that it's old Super Nintendo games, and I like Super Nintendo games so much, that makes me kind of intrigued by it. But I would have loved to see the Ren and Stimpy Genesis and Super Nintendo
games.
stuff on there.
There was Ren and Stimpy, which we can guess was excluded for
John
reason
Kay's
of
creepiness.
For his behavior. Yeah. There's other stuff. So like, it seems like a little bit too little for me to be interested in this.
But you could buy this one with like the orange VHS tape and the giant slime thing, or so this other. You could get a deluxe version with a whole bunch of shit. You could get that.
Sure.
I mean, don't. It's going to be like $200 and it'll have like a download code in there also. There won't even be a game.
This is interesting. Ripple Island, Kyle and Cal's Restaurant. This was teased by Sunsoft last week. I think we mentioned it on the show. I don't remember if we got to it or not, but Sunsoft made an announcement. They said we got a big announcement coming up, and then this was it. So it's, I don't know, it's an Overcooked clone using characters from Ripple Island, which that game I have some experience with recently. It was on the Sunsoft is Back collection, and as I said previously on the show, Ripple Island is pretty interesting little game. I like it. It's a point and click adventure on the NES or on the Famicom rather. That's actually done well. It impressed me. What little I've played of it so far. I do intend to go back and play more of it. But this Overcooked, redressing, not for me. I don't like Overcooked, so I'm not playing this one.
I really wasn't sure exactly what it was. I guess I didn't really look into it. I was hoping that it was like a special themed restaurant in Japan dedicated to Ripple Island, because that would be amazing and so like random. It's like, hey, remember Ripple Island? I mean, they do have a lot of themed cafes and stuff there, but it'd be funny to have one for that one specifically. It's like, Ripple Island, we're doing it. We're doing our own restaurant, making it
every
happen.
Obscure Famicom game gets a restaurant in Japan. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there was more. Like back in when Jess and I were watching like Food Wars hardcore, like the anime, which is really, really good. I really wanted to go to a Food Wars restaurant that had some of the food that they make in that show, because it looks like fucking fantastic. I think they might have for a second, but I think everything should have a themed restaurant in Japan. I don't know if they have one. I was thinking about Jeremy being there now. Of course, I was like, do they have any Falcom stuff? Like, do they have any? I mean, they should, since they have so many fucking games. Like a Trails or Ease restaurant or whatever. Like, I would love to see a Falcom store where we could buy a little add-all toy or something like that.
They should have a NintenDomain themed restaurant in Japan.
It's mostly
like
just cereal and sushi. It's just the things we ate on the show.
We have a themed restaurant in Japan.
There's just split pea soup, sushi, and cereal. Those are like the three things we ate.
Nice.
aside from that apple that I ate, like in like the fifth episode or whatever, that we got so much.
As of this episode, they can also carry Pocky.
Oh yeah, put that on there too.
ACA Neo Geo Selection Volume 9 and 10. So we're getting a bunch of Neo Geo games.
Yeah, I think all these are already available like by themselves, but you get some decent stuff for the collections, I guess. I mean, Street Hoop's in there. Street Hoop is a really good game. That's an NBA Jam style game that I think is very great. Fatal Fury 3, King of Fighters. There's some fighters in there too. Samurai Showdown 2. Magician Lord.
King of
was a cool
Monsters.
one too.
That's a good one.
King of Monsters was like the Godzilla type one. That's for 9, and I don't know. Most of these I just got them whenever they came out. Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. That's a good one.
These are coming out in December on the 18th.
Yeah. They're also already available by themselves if you just want to go get them. They do go on sale a lot, just the regular ACA single ones. But yeah, it's cool they putting them together, I guess, for people who want collections.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Resident Evil Requiem. The price is revealed, sort of. I don't know if you saw this, but
I did, but it was the way it was kind of a little confusing by the way it was worded, I guess. I'm curious because most Capcom games haven't really taken on the $70 price tag yet. Like, so I was figured it would be $60 across the board, but are they saying it's going to be more expensive on other systems and not on Switch?
Basically, yeah. So they say this is according to Nintendo Everything. Over on Amazon UK, we see that the Nintendo Switch 2 version of Resident Evil Requiem is listed for £60. To compare, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X versions are currently priced at £70. This is interesting as we haven't really seen something like this on Switch 2 so far. As far as we know, Requiem will be the same experience on Nintendo's console. Yep. So that seems like, yeah, if that, however that translates, price wise, seems like it's going to be a little bit less on the Switch too. So, all right, cool.
Maybe, yeah. There's no price on the eShop as of now, but I'll be interested because, like I said, a lot of those Capcom games they have not been going for the $70. Maybe Monster Hunter Wilds was, but I know like Resident Evil Remake and like and Street Fighter 6 when it came out that was $60. Like they had $70 games there and then even so.
Which I think is really fair if they keep this up, because I think that my total guess is nowadays they know that people are smart. They know that the Switch 2 they know system is more powerful, which is going to offer more, and you want to feel like if you're getting a better experience, you're paying for a better experience. But if you're getting a lesser experience, you don't want to feel like, why would I get this version or whatever? I think this is a good deal for Capcom twofold because their customers are going to feel a little bit more appreciated. And then they're also going to perhaps say 70 is just too much. Well, hey, I'll get the Switch 2 version instead. And that might be enough to get them to make a purchase that they wouldn't otherwise purchase. So cool. Smart. And everybody else should get on board with doing this.
Yeah, not just because Nintendo has all of their games coming out for $70 doesn't mean that everybody does, and a lot of people don't still. As aside from the big ones. So I'm hoping that it's not that they're, because I mean, PlayStation mentioned it first, and then Nintendo did it with like Tears of the Kingdom, but now they're just like so hardcore, like just steering into it now, and I wish that. Maybe we don't need to do that for everything, Definitely not like the Switch 1 version of Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 or whatever, which just blows my mind that even that Switch 1 version is 70. It's like, what the hell, guys? But whatever.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Square Enix one, or not Square Enix, the Resident Evil, the Capcom one will be less. Whenever Requiem comes out, like, are you gonna force yourself to play through like 5 and 6? Don't you have those games too, of Resident Evil?
I do.
Or are you just gonna try to get through 7 and 8? Because you said that you'd want to play through 7 and 8 before you play 9. But are you all the Resident Evils, they all have to do with each other. Are you gonna like torture yourself and make yourself play 5 and 6 also?
Well, I mean, I've already got 5 and 6. I
would say you have them, right?
So,
yeah.
So 5 I've played through a good deal of already. Just because back in the day,
it's better. It's better as
it's
better as a co-op game than a one-player game. I'll give it that. That'll make it less jarring. But I don't think either of them are good. I mean, 5's a little bit better, but 6 is. I've never played 6 actually, but people.
I'm
always
curious
hated
about
it.
6. Yeah. I tried just a bit of it when I bought it, and it does seem more like the action fest that 5 was. I don't know. I can see myself pushing through, like taking a weekend or two and pushing through both of them.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'd be interested. Yeah, the problem with 5 for me was that it like wanted to be an action game, but it didn't control like an action game. It was like, we want to be action, but it plays like shit. Like if you want to be an action game, make it like a fucking third-person shooter. Like instead of this like awful, this terrible control that Resident Evil 4 had, but it was a little bit more, it was easier to go with then. But the fact that you still haven't changed it is like, what the fuck are you doing here? So
right.
That was, and also like having.
I mean, it was a little bit cumbersome in 4, but you could get used to it at the time.
Yeah. It was forgiven for what it was. But I think when 5 came around, they should have fixed it.
If you're going to push the action more, then you got to make some
you got to fix
concessions
the
with the controls. Yeah.
And also, I thought it was a pain in the ass to control 2 people. Not to mention the whole like super racist stuff in there with all the black zombies and all that. I don't know. It was that whole game wasn't. I don't know. I don't think it's aged too well, but whatever.
Well, how about this? Fans have spotted an unannounced character in the trailer for Super Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition.
Oh, did they? I didn't
see
this one.
Yep. So you paused the Switch 2 trailer at 2:01, and a mini-game icon can be clearly seen featuring the character of Rosalina. So I guess she's coming to Super Mario Wonder. So cool. I mean, goes along with the trend. We're pushing everything Galaxy because of the Galaxy movie.
Stuff, yeah.
Yep. I mean, cool. This is the 20 years thing. Like, why didn't Nintendo name the movie Super Mario Galaxy? They're smart. They know that nostalgia is on a 20-year cycle. And so now Galaxy is coming up on 20 years. So we got to do the movie. We got to throw the games out there for $70 because people who were kids at the time will fawn over it and pay for it. And we got to throw Rosalina in the Wonder game too. All right, cool. We're on a Galaxy Fest for the next 6 months or 7 months, whatever it is. Doesn't persuade me to get the Wonder 2 edition anymore. I still just need to see if
they need to say
they're adding more single player.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It's still like that whole. It's so broken how that you have to pay for the DLC to get the upgrade, or at least that seems to be what it is for some games to get the Switch 2 upgrade. Like sometimes it's free, but sometimes you have to pay for DLC to get it. It's like, okay, let's just have it free. Just at least like to have it run better. I don't know. But I mean, Jess and I just played through that game, so I don't see any reason to go back to it.
Speaking of downloadable stuff, Once Upon a Katamari, the new Katamari game that's coming out, as a bonus, players who have saved data from Reroll or We Love Katamari Reroll, Royal Reverie, can unlock a playable Young King.
Yeah, I'm into that. That's cool.
Yeah.
And another new music video was released. Yeah, I'm still excited about that. I've watched the trailer of it again, and I do think it looks bigger than the other ones did, from what I've seen of it. Like the worlds look larger, But I always like those games, and I'm into supporting a new one, even though it's in the middle of the crazy October, where there's like a new game every week. It's like a new.
It's coming out soon. When does that come out?
It's in October.
It's in
the middle of October. October is the crazy
Weeks, huh?
month. Is the month where it's like there's like 6 games coming out that I really want, like one after another, and none of them are Galaxy 2.
I'm excited to see a modern Katamari with thousands and thousands of little things all rolling up into the ball.
I mean, it looked pretty big.
That's
Like
cool.
watching the announcement trailer again, I still think it looks pretty huge. But you'll have to play it to see it.
We got some new shows coming out. Splinter Cell Death Watch. I could take it or leave it. It's good for Splinter Cell fans. It's an animated series coming to Netflix with Liev Schreiber as Sam Fisher.
Oh. Ray Donovan, the Ray Donovan.
The Ray Donovan. Yep.
He's on a show called Ray Donovan. I've never seen it before. The worst Sabretooth, the Sabretooth in the most terrible Wolverine movie with the CGI claws. I only know him as bad things he was in. Was he in anything good ever? He does terrible voiceover on the on that like football documentary. I mean his voiceover just sounds weird for the Hard Knocks documentary show on HBO.
He was in Scream, and I also liked the Manchurian Candidate reboot that they did like 15 years ago or whatever. He was in that too. That's pretty good. What I'm more excited about is Ranma Half Season 2. Yeah, Ranma 1/2 Season 2 comes out on my birthday.
Are you going to get? You have to get. So you'll pay like
Yes,
$30 a month for like one show of Netflix again.
I'll pay again
Ramen.
Just to watch Ranma. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other things that I would watch on there because it's been a while, but I'll catch up on Squid Game Season 3.
Oh yeah, I never finished it. Or wait, is there 3
Season
now?
2 is so disappointing.
I never finished Season 2.
Season 2 was so disappointing to me. I don't want to get off track about it. I did not like Season 2, and it left me not wanting to even, watch Season 3. But I'll watch it since I'm going to get this for Ranma.
I'll say, then don't. What you should watch that's good is Dawn to Dawn has a whole new season on Netflix now. You haven't seen any of it, but it's much better.
I've seen none of it.
It's much better anime
none.
than any of the other ones that I've seen. It's that one's great, and the Dungeon Meshi one too is excellent. Delicious in Dungeon.
Mm-hmm. We got more evidence that Nintendo is actually going to implement a proper achievement system. This is a patent filing, so take it or leave it, whatever. Yeah, it says I didn't read too much into it, so just briefly, they say it includes a lot of language that points to some sort of achievement-like system. Players will be tasked with competing in-game goals that are beyond what the game itself asks. It seems like Nintendo's going to take a multifaceted approach with their achievement setup. As gamers will get digital rewards and points for clearing out objectives. Sometimes you'll tackle a mission. I mean, it all sounds like achievements. So
yeah, it seems like a more complicated version of, because they already kind of have it a little bit with the Nintendo Switch Online icons, where it's like play this and get this sticker, and they did it somewhat with the Wii U, where you got like special stickers for the Miiverse and all that, depending on whatever achievements you do. I just hope it would be nice to see like a PlayStation trophy achievement system or whatever. I do kind of miss that little ding noise from the PlayStation when you do something. And some of those games I would play more just so I could platinum them. Like I platinumed all the Lego games that I played that I liked on PlayStation 3 because that was fun to platinum it, because it's like do all the missions, and it was nice to have that extra little platinum on there,
Yeah, I'd look forward to Nintendo actually, really putting it front and center. Which I wonder how many people actually do redeem these rewards and stuff, like, because it is a little bit hidden still. There is like a mission rewards section. You have to go into the Nintendo Switch Online app, and it's not like my understanding of how it is on the PlayStation system, where you get like the notifications and stuff pop up and all that. I don't know. Like they could do more to put it front and center, to make it more enticing. You got to like leave a little candy out for somebody to follow, like, I get a reward if I do this XYZ, whatever. It's kind of buried currently still, and they can do more to promote it. So hopefully that's what this means. Yep. And Sega has trademarked the term Arcade Paradise, which is interesting to me because there's a game out there which Jeremy likes called Arcade Paradise, And so what does this mean for those folks?
I don't know. It's like, hey, we already got that name. Get out of here, Sega.
Right.
Go get your own paradise. Are we, let's say, do you have a lot left here? I'm good to...
Yeah, let's just get to the last two things I want to talk about. Well, one is, I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's worth mentioning all the shiza that's going on with, Trump and censorship, and, Jimmy Kimmel off the air, back on the air. Good for him being back on. You might say, like, what's this to do with video games? In my view, this is he came for radio and NPR and he's come for TV, and he'll come for video games eventually. So this is worth discussing just for a moment. And it's like, yeah, all because I don't know, because of the Charlie Kirk thing, which is unfortunate and sad. And,
well, it's not. I mean, Trump has had it out for anybody who's ever said anything against him, which is like everyone who's on TV for a long time. It goes a lot farther past that fucking awful person that ended up getting killed that they're making such a big deal about or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I
think it's kind of gross. Like, even though I never listened to Charlie Kirk, I only have impressions of him from what other people relayed on talk shows, whatever. So I never heard much of the guy, just to be honest. But I know that he's a right wing figure, but I think it's disgusting. I'm like disgusted that the right wing is taking this tragic circumstance where he was assassinated and using it like bending the truth, like to further their own means. I know it's par for the course. Yeah,
I mean, that's what their stats are high in, is bending the truth. They're best at lying, so that's all they're really good at.
Yeah.
So that's that's what he did when he was alive. I don't think anybody should get killed, but it's the fact that he got killed by the thing that he defended for so long is kind of like, I don't know. It's like, hey, maybe guns were bad, huh? You think about it now.
Yeah.
Mr. Guns. It's basically they'll do anything they can to actually not deal with the elephant in the room, the elephant being in the room being fucking gun control. Like, that's what we need to do, but, NRA is filling everyone's pockets with money, so we're never, ever going to go there, no matter what party you are, is what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Because they pay for the whole fucking country to have guns to continue to shoot each other with.
Yeah.
Yay.
And what's bringing it into video games, this week, is that they have subpoenaed the CEOs of Discord, Steam, and Twitch and Reddit to appear before the House Oversight Committee and explain what actions they will take to ensure that their platforms are not exploited for nefarious purposes. This might be a conversation worth having, but I would say the first conversation worth having is, what about the guns? This is about as far as I want to take it, but because this conversation could go on for a whole nother podcast and all that. But it's just, I don't know, more look over here from people who are not interested in actually solving the problem. More look over there from people who are paid by the NRA and various organizations to distract us. And anywho.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad Jimmy Kimmel's back on the air.
Yeah, a lot of people dropped their Disney Plus or whatever, and he did.
A lot of people dropped it. Good for them.
He did come back. So
I heard somewhere Disney's stock plummeted by about $4 billion since he was pulled, and that's of course the main reason why he's coming back, because Disney said, "Oh fuck, maybe we shouldn't bend over for Donald Trump,
for the mad tyrant."
For the mad tyrant. So people don't like when their free speech is taken away. Yep. So all right,
see how long that lasts. I don't know. Fuck that guy. Trump, not Jimmy Kimmel's fine. Anyway, let's end it with something
Yeah.
Also bad, but you could make it nice.
Yeah. So unfortunately, as I'm sure many of you heard, the Game Chasers, Billy Hudson, passed away.
I think
suddenly.
I think I had seen.
Yeah.
I think I'd seen on Slack that you posted that he was in the hospital, but I didn't really look at it.
He was.
And then I was just working, and I happened to see on my phone that he died, and I was just like, "Oh shit!" And I remember that you were a big fan of theirs.
Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, he posted that he was in the hospital. This is in August. That he had some symptoms and went to the hospital and was diagnosed with a brain tumor. This is in August. And then just a few days ago, he passed away. So imagine that you get the diagnosis and then within a few weeks,
gone.
Yeah. This is a man who was 44.
Yeah.
Who appeared to be in good shape,
yeah.
And the news was shared by his longtime friend and co-creator, Jay. He posted on social media that Billy lost his fight with cancer on Thursday, September 18th. I'll read his full statement. It's with a heavy heart and tearful eyes that I have to make this post. This afternoon, Billy lost his fight with cancer. A video is being made this weekend with more details. Please don't ask for additional information. Also, keep in mind that this just happened, and the family, YouTube family included, is in a grieving process. I know there's lots of questions. Please let us have a moment and not slam people we're his friends, with questions me included. We are getting a ton of messages, calls, texts, and it's overwhelming. Billy loves each and every one of you and appreciates the love and support you've given him. So, I guess I'll just explain my fandom of them, right? I came to find their stuff in about 2014. So I was at that point, I was at a down point, I was just recently divorced and I was just sort of starting to get stuff back together. I moved into a new apartment, which was actually where I worked too. I was managing the apartment building. And they, as a part of being an apartment manager, they gave me a 2-bedroom apartment, which is nice and everything, but I'm recently single at that point. I'm in California and I just don't have that much stuff. So it was just this big empty apartment, and on top of that type of job was less working from home and more living at work. And, just managing a 60-unit apartment building, people come to you with problems all day long. And, so there were people there on the outside of my apartment, but I was feeling like, man, I'm just kind of alone out here. You know what I mean? And I can remember one day on a weekend when I was, supposed to have time to myself. I had certain office hours I had to keep, or someone came to the door, I had to resolve the problem, whatever. But it was a weekend. It was a day that I had to myself, and I can't do anything else. I'm so exhausted. I'm just trying to figure out where I am right now, and I'm just gonna watch YouTube and play video games on my emulator on my MacBook. And so in doing this, I came across the Game Chasers for the first time. And what immediately struck me about that show, for those of you who don't know, first of all, it's Jay and Billy, and the whole theme of the show is they go hit up retro markets or flea markets rather, and try to find some video games. It was inspired by American Pickers and that kind of thing, but they wanted to do that, but just for video games.
Yeah, it's kind of like an antique show, right? I only saw a couple episodes with you, but it has that it has the formula of a lot of a reality or documentary shows would do, where you have the thing and then you do the interviews where you walk it through. I do so many different jobs like that. I saw them doing that where they would talk about how you felt when you were when they did the footage from whatever earlier. But you know, yeah, it's like another. Yeah, it's kind of like like an antique show, but for retro games. It's kind of what I gathered from it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And what was cool about their show was there was an obvious effort made to make it feel like one of those shows, not just like somebody recording a YouTube video, as was still common at that time and still happens today or whatever. It wasn't just recording a video and talking there on the scene. There was like production value to it. They had graphics and they had interviews with other experts who were their friends and all that kind of things. And yeah, you could see some of the seams and everything, but that added to the charm. It was like, oh, these guys they're doing a really good job of just making something as professional as they can with some limited resources. And so that was like, there's like heart behind it. That's what really like endeared me to their show, is you could see that they were trying and mostly succeeding at making it look like a really professional show. And of course, as episodes went on, they got better and better. And the later episodes, on up until episode 90, which debuted, I think, 2 or 3 months ago, it just looks like a professionally made show that might be on History Channel or something like that. But that was like how I came into it, and it felt like the way that they filmed it, it just felt like you were bringing you along for the ride, and like you were there in the van with them, and you were privy to their in jokes, and you just came to feel like sort of one of the gang. So this week when the news came, it just of course I was sad, but I'm like, later on in the day and next day, I'm like, I'm still sad about this. I was thinking about this today. Like, why haven't I been sad all week, about this? And why? This was somebody I didn't know personally. I met him once.
Yeah.
I met him at SoCal Retro Expo, where I got this T-shirt. I bought a T-shirt from them.
Yeah, got it on even.
I got it on today. Yep, in honor. Like, why am I so sad about this? Because I didn't really know this person, right? This is the first I realized that.
You felt like you did, though, right?
I felt like I did. Yep, I felt like I did to some degree. And I think this is the first time that I've had a YouTube person, internet person that I really followed who passed away. There's been other people who I've known of, whatever, but this is someone who's like, if there was a video posted, oh, that's what I'm watching during lunch today. I'm going to put on Game Chasers and eat my lunch, So this, and also not only did I watch their show, but I watch, all their friends' shows too. It's like a networking thing, as we all know. People pop up from different YouTube channels, and then, oh, now I want to go watch his channel, and his channel is really interesting too, and all that. And so now this last week, I've been seeing all their different friends post about, this tragic passing. So I'm not going to try and say like, like my grief is equal to theirs. Absolutely, it's not. But it's more than just if it was some, random celebrity who I admired, whose movies I watched or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there was times when I would watch his, live stream, and it would be in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. or something, and I'd be one of 20 people watching because it was late or something. It did just feel a little bit more like this is someone who I kind of knew a little bit, as you said. So yeah, I don't know. I'll just say my heart goes out to them. This and his family too. And he had a wife and he had a young son. And, they were just hit by this in August, and then processing that, and then he's gone in September. So yeah, it's awful. So yeah, and what I say to people who are out there, like in the previous story, going after like Discord and Twitch and all of that, and this is like the problem with games and all this stuff. Man, watch Game Chasers. You'll see what it's really about. You'll see what the video game community and the retro community and all that stuff is really about. This is about friends. It's an excuse to hang out with people, who have a common interest, to share a common passion. And that brings it around for me to say, like, Game Chasers was a big reason why I wanted to do NintenDomain.
Yeah, it kept you around for hundreds of episodes or
hundreds of episodes. Yeah, when you guys invited me,
contrary to what AI thinks, even though AI thinks you're only on the show sometime. Don't listen to AI for anything. True.
Don't listen. AI's never listened to a single episode of this show.
Yeah, we searched it one time, and it said that John's on the show sometimes. Which I thought was funny. It also said that it's not posted every week. I was like, yes, it is. I do it.
Yes, it is.
AI. You don't know anything.
Yes, it is. It's an excuse to hang out with friends. And I could tell, like, the Game Chasers, Billy and Jay, they started doing it because they enjoyed games, but more so because they enjoyed games together. And through enjoying games together, they brought on a whole community of people who all enjoy games together. And man, it's a big loss. He's one of the OG retro game YouTuber social media people. And seeing everybody post about this, it's just clear to me what a good guy he really was. In the moment that I met him, I'll tell you just my brief impression, because it was only a few seconds. It was at SoCal Retro Expo, and I was walking by their booth. It's like, man, Game Chasers are here, cool, And my sort of demeanor when I see somebody who is notable or famous or whatever, I'm hesitant to engage as much as I would like to internally. Like, I want to kind of fan out, but I also want to, hey, these people are here doing a job, and I want to. I don't know. I find it hard to find a balance sometimes, and that time I think I was a little bit more reserved, right? But when Billy saw me kind of standing back, I'm telling you, he jumped up. He jumped up from his seat, and he hurried right on over to me and, hey man, how's it going? How can I help you? What can I get for you? And I said, oh yeah, you got a t-shirt, double XL, and yeah man, cool. I gave him my $20, I think it was. Thanks for being a fan, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, cool. That was about it. But my impression from the moment that he saw me from across the room, jumped up, hey, how can I help you? You know what I mean? I always was left with the impression that's a really good guy. He's hardworking and he clearly cares for his fans. And, that fact of him being a good guy is really coming through in the aftermath of all this, where people are posting lots of heartfelt videos. And not only that, I'm noticing that people are posting videos with their thoughts on it. His close friends, they're all donating. They're monetizing the videos, and they're donating the money to his wife and his kid. So, yeah, if you got the time, if you haven't checked out Game Chasers, thankfully it's still all there. It's going to be a minute, I think, before I can go watch an episode without feeling.
Oh, you haven't been just reminiscing it or whatever. Yeah.
No, it's going to be a minute, I think, because I'm still.
Yeah, it varies. I guess it varies on lot. Like when David Lynch died, I watched some of his old experimental movies, and I watched like Twin Peaks, the bunch of Twin Peaks episodes in the background. I guess, even though I was still very sad about it, it helped. I guess a little bit.
Yeah,
it was kind of like a comfort food for dealing with that. I know it's not quite the same, but I looked up to David Lynch for years, and it just kind of caught me out of nowhere. Wasn't ready for it.
I'll get there, and if and when they ever post a GoFundMe or something, I'll donate. And I'm just putting that out there just so go watch those videos. The people talking about him, because every little bit of monetization from those videos, from his close friends, is going to his family. So you can do something good by clicking on some of those videos. And if and when I do hear of a GoFundMe coming up, I'll be sure to mention it on the show as well.
For sure.
God bless you, Billy, and we'll miss you. And my heart goes out to his family and to Jay as well, and all his friends.
We send our best to you over there. And there's only good in video games. Is that like the study that I saw like a couple days ago, where it's like, oh hey, we found so he's like, oh, we found that people who played Breath of the Wild like felt better from play. I feel like it's definitely like a deconstruction thing for me to just like zone out and play something for a while to make me think less about all the terrible things in life or whatever. And it's and all the better to you can have all the money in the world and have all the video games, but what does that matter if you don't have anyone to share it with and to actually talk about it? And that's why I was like, let's make a podcast like 10 years ago or whatever. And thankfully, Jeremy, you and Jeremy and many other people we've met along the way has gone on the journey with us, and I appreciate that. And to any of you who's still listening to this at 2.5 hours, but thanks for all the, for anybody who's sent us a line, and feel free to drop an email or whatever. I'm always like to hear comments from people.
Yeah, we appreciate all of you for listening all this time for this episode and for the other episodes. And, this is all about sharing our love and passion for games. And, at the core of that is sharing a need to reach out to each other. Gaming can be a lonely hobby sometimes. That's the truth. It can be a lonely hobby. Sometimes you play by yourself, but
I mean, single player games are my favorite thing, but I said at the same time, it's not as fun if you don't have anybody to share your video game journey with.
That's exactly it.
It may be fun for itself, but you're just gonna.
The big part of the reason why I play any game, any single player game, is so that I can have an experience and not just keep it to myself, but relate it to my friends and have a reason to join up on this podcast and share with the community. So
thanks for listening to us, and check out the Game Chasers also online for all that stuff and our IP. But that's our episode. That's episode 490 of NintenDomain Podcast. If you'd like to help the show out, go to patreon.com/NintenDomain Podcast, and you can get bonus episodes for even just as low as $1. Get our latest expansion pack where we build our own NintenDomain UFO 51, which I saw Jeremy is like 150 hours on that game now, like in Japan playing it. Like he's the ultimate UFO 50 fan. I mean, I think he mentioned on the show it's a great like a ADD game or whatever, because there's so many different games you can jump from one to another. But he's got a plan. He's got a plan to beat a fifth of them at least, the games. I mean, I think beating all 50 of those you should get like a trophy for that or something. But we'll talk about that in the future, and I'm hoping to do a specific Japan episode once Jeremy returns on our expansion pack. So you'll be able to check that out, and I think you can get like a free week and try out different stuff on there. We post the videos early of us on there, and there's also the WART radio where I just put all the music from the shows into a nice playlist if you want to jam out to the stuff that goes with the episodes, and it's kind of its own time capsule as well, because all the music goes with whatever we're talking about at the time. And you can also find us at youtube.com/NintenDomain Podcast and twitch.tv/NintenDomain Podcast, and Blue Sky at Trey Johnson at NintenDomain at Jared Domain on there. If you look up NintenDomain, you'll find all our different stuff on there. But thanks for listening. We've been your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
John Itter.
And thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Flowing onward, shining stars do trace their paths like a beacon guiding me straight to you. When the longing burns, oh my heart, it doth break in two, and the cruel moon laughs at my pain, right on cue. If this fleeting hope shall never be, and my true love is just fantasy, release me, let me go, with just one single scar. Our first embrace and sweet gentle kiss, our last caress and eternal bliss. It's with your falling tears I'll turn them to amber, and with your sweet amber tears I'll seal away our love. It seems you've all come to understand what I was trying to convey. What's most important is amour and pax. That is to say, love and peace.
We just got some breaking news from Japan, from Jeremy. That was that noise.
Oh, really?
Yep. Let's see. Jeremy, here's a video update. I'm sure he won't mind if I play it on the...
Jeremy's watching Beavis and Butthead in Japan.
Yep, watching Beavis and Butthead. Well, he's at a shop where they got some Beavis and Butthead.
At 2 a.m.?
I guess so.
Oh. I'm guessing it's from earlier.
Anyway.
I'm guessing it's from earlier.
This is thrilling stuff for the podcast.
Whoa, so many cool things. Better than other shops, huh?